I'm not muted anymore. All right. Thank you, everybody. So let's say all of that over again. Hello, Squid Gamers, and welcome to Squid School. Today it's a special version of Squid School today, one of the rare opportunities where we get to VOD review with a full team. Cool, okay. So we're going to be working with Ink-87. It's a team that I've seen play recently in Low Ink. I saw them on stream. So super cool to actually be working with them in person here. We're trying to figure out, what we should do at the beginning of this, because normally we play League, right? But if they had a full team ready to go, then I can't join them in any way. They've already got 4. So my first thought was, okay, let's just have a scrim between, the usual Squid School people, like me Devi, Jamie, and their team. And we can give them some more input that way. But it's looking like one of them isn't available right this second. So my apologies to Jamie and Devi and Bab. They are finding out about this firsthand on stream right now. But since one of them is missing, we figure we'll just do League with Ink-87 here until until everybody's here and we're able to actually get started with the VOD review. So we're doing our typical thing here of playing League. And I need to go and make sure that I have the players added here. Okay, so looks like we do not have the friend request from them yet. So, Mr. Awesome, if you could just send me that really quickly, unless you sent that already. Okay. Does that get rid of the league room? It might get rid of the league room. I think it got rid of the league room. Yeah. Okay, just a sec. Cat number 2. We're only on 2 cats today, okay? We're not doing too badly. Okay, there we go. So I'm told by Mr. Austin that he should be joining. The room is okay, there he sees it. Perfect. And then his teammates should be able to join in off him. And I'm going to hop in the Bravest voice chat so that we may have speaks. Okay. Devi, why don't you hop in? We do need one more, it sounds like. It looks like we only have the 2. Okay. And also, Devi, feel free to hop in the voice chat. All right, there's Devi. Perfect. So everyone who wants, feel free to hop into waiting room VC. Perfect. That's everyone, I think. All right, we're all here. Welcome.
Hi.
Ta-da!
Oh. Okay.
My controller untangled. Okay. I think we're all set.
I am so sorry about the debacle. I had no idea about the stream stuff. So
No
Yeah.
worries.
thankfully I got toothpaste here with me until Rafi shows up. That'll be in about 15 minutes, I think, because he said he's walking back to his house or something. So he'll be here shortly. And then at least I'm not really sure where my team captain is. I told them 6:45.
Yeah, so I think she thinks we're meeting at 6:30 because we were gonna warm up first, and I don't think she. Or we're trying to ping her.
Gotcha.
Gotta
Yeah.
love it when the team captain is the last one, right?
She isn't usually the last one. I just didn't know.
Yeah.
You know what?
I was the person that was like coordinating everything. So
Fair enough.
yeah.
Should I
Meanwhile,
just?
I'm the one that has to have notice
10
on
seconds
because
on gear and stuff, so make sure
if
we're
I
ready
miss
there.
something, it drives me batty.
All right, I'll do the K Pro for now.
Yeah, I guess I'll just be Nautilus, but I'm probably gonna switch to Mini because we already have a splatling.
Yeah, and we don't have a lot of paint, so a mini would probably be helpful.
Yeah, I'll go Vimy after this.
Yeah.
So the play here is to bait them into fights and then kill them.
All right.
Hey,
we
Captain.
don't have a lot of like holding forward weapons here, so we're gonna
Yeah,
wanna
I think
play
it was.
relatively
You know what?
passive.
I was frantically trying to pick a weapon. I can definitely do the splash
Okay.
to have a little bit more coordinating or killing
Yeah,
power.
that makes a lot of sense. Alright, we've got a tent and a blob, so they're also going to be relatively passive here.
The 52 is gonna be the biggest problem.
This one trying to flank left maybe.
Oh, I got flanking right, so
Yep, left. 52 is 52.
Oh. Oh, I don't.
I got the blob.
One weak in mid,
There's 2 weak in mid actually.
Missling.
Okay, got two
Nice.
guys.
One on our
Guys,
streets, item twice, I'm down.
Okay, KV2 is the last one in our street.
I see.
Yeah.
That. I just have to look
Okay,
2
Debbie
ways here.
flanked right.
Yeah, I said that at the start. I got him.
Okay.
One on the left is
52.
blob, tent following blob, and the third one's over there too.
Oh yeah.
There's 3 in their street
Bomb
left.
over there. I'm going to use the
Tent's
armor
going
and go
on
in. One on bunker, or on
Tent's
attic.
down.
Yeah, there's someone in attic. Someone in attic.
Yeah.
Nice, got him.
Nice.
Two
This
left
one's
street
back
still.
left. Got him.
Nice.
Nice.
One more blob
Oh, wait.
left.
Okay.
A blob is blob
See if I
left.
can get blob. Where are they?
They're still back left behind the
Oh, this was probably a bad.
It's okay, you
That was
got it. I
bad.
believe. Yes. Now they're 2
Yay.
coming. They're left mini.
Yeah, I'm
They are
pushing
new.
left mini, pushing left mini.
They-
I'm dead.
Oh, hammer.
That's
They have
coming
a
Aren't
towards
hammer.
even.
us.
Oh, yep, that's a hammer. Hammer, please leave. Hammer,
And a-
please
and a-
leave. Aw.
Ah, come on.
3 their street.
Okay,
Last
Thank
two.
you,
okay,
thank you.
probably
Stay
like
safe,
about-
stay safe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Good job.
have to about.
Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna try and get
I
my
have- Yeah, I have my jet.
There's
so
someone
I
in
can
our
push
court
that.
right now.
One's going up to our attic, Gem. It's a
I have
blob.
missiles ready.
And it's in our court.
Okay, I'll use jet on missiles.
Oh crap! I died.
Oh.
In our court, guys.
Hmm.
There's 2.
Well,
We probably
I'm
don't want to go
baiting
down
them.
court. Let's
Oh.
just go out right when that happens, because
Yeah.
we can just take
Alright.
zone without needing to worry about it.
Okay, there's Blob in our street. He's going towards them.
Oh, on me, on me, on me.
Oh, they're
2.
all 3
Yeah,
now.
I know. There's way
We're
too
good,
much
we're
there
good,
for
we're
me to
good,
do
we're
something
good,
about.
We're good, we're good, we're good. Oh, hello.
3v3, 3v3.
Oh,
Oh,
I have Booyah.
This is
I'm gonna Booyah. Let's see what I can do here.
okay.
Toothpaste or Debbie, I'm gonna help you.
yeah, they might come around. The blob's keeping an eye on
Got
me on
one.
the right.
They're using
Bomb rush on zone,
Bomb,
careful.
pinch on the bomb
I
rusher.
got
Good,
Blob.
good, good.
Or whoever's using bomb rush. Got
Oh,
2.
whoa! I jumped into a bomb.
Yeah, it's
Alright,
alright.
we got captains.
Where's the
Um,
52? Where's the 52 at?
I'm not sure. Keep an eye on the right behind me, behind me.
Oh, behind, right.
Oh,
He's 1.
Oh,
Missling the
Got it.
remaining 3. Tenton left with someone else, got one of them.
Nice. Watch
out, hammer.
hammer.
Hammer's just
Okay,
left
great.
street. I
my
think
God,
I have
yeah,
the,
this one's
I got
right.
the tent.
Blob's right.
Pushing their court, Got
Alright,
one.
I'm using- I'm gonna
Another
help
one
you
weak,
with
got
that.
him.
Nice.
Top
Just
left, top
splash,
left.
just splash.
All right, where?
Top left,
There we
top
go.
left.
See if I can get into there. Snipe.
Jumping to Debbie.
see the
They're-
tent.
they're all
Yeah,
going
the
top
tent's
left.
right here. There, it's right around this corner.
Yeah, I see it. I bombed.
Okay, I got 50.
On the
down.
right side, blob. Right side, blob.
Push the blob. I hit him once. Got him.
There we go. And in
Pain,
front,
pain, 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 pain.
Uh-oh.
Nice.
I got bomb rusher.
Shit.
There we go. Good job.
Nice. Clean game.
Nice.
Alright. I'll go with the splash this time.
Yeah, I'll switch to Jimmy.
Okay.
Welcome to everybody, by the way. Welcome to our Chicken Lord. Welcome to Cooper Dagger and Pumpkin Jams and Hecka and Smidge and oh man, there's a lot of people.
Hi,
Hi,
YouTube
Danny.
and Twitch.
Oh, yeah, a whole bunch of people.
Ooh, we're popular today.
Was Junior the first weapon in Splat 1? I never actually played Splat 1, so I don't know that for sure.
I'd imagine so.
I believe it
feel
was
like
a
it's just
starter weapon.
traditional at this point.
It
It
is a
was a
really
starter
good
weapon.
weapon to give someone at early ranks. It's, not so much painting accuracy, but puts a lot of paint on the ground, has a useful special and a useful bomb. I think it's a really good choice.
We do have double missiles.
I'm just saying this because this is their YouTube tag, I promise. To stupid idiot.
Oh
We-
no!
There's a lot to say about how to get out of A and B rank, and I've made whole videos on the subject on our YouTube channel. So I would try to look there because trying to help you out just like by saying, oh, do this, you know, it's not that simple. But those videos should be a good starting point at least, get you a way to answer some questions.
Okay, this
Hey,
one's on
there's
far
like-
right.
Right?
I'm getting flanked left immediately.
Huh?
I'm not gonna be
Okay.
able to take left
I'm
side.
trying to secure left here.
I'm
One's
watching the
Are
right
they
already-
side.
inner streets?
Yeah, they
Oh
are.
my gosh.
Okay, well I traded the
They
machine.
use armor.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Probably should have done better than that. There's this.
I shouldn't have
Slosher
jumped
gonna be
over.
coming from behind you guys.
Yeah, I'm very unwarmed up.
I'm
oh,
down.
God, please don't explode. And it did.
Gotta run away.
Okay,
Yeah,
there's
it's
two on you.
definitely gotta run.
I'm right peeking them.
96 is in our
Okay.
right court.
Well, there's only one on left side. It's the machine.
I can bomb rush our court.
Where, Debbie?
Alright.
Where?
It's back in mid already.
Yeah.
Alright, I bomb rush.
I had to revert my mind because it was
Missile.
backwards.
Their missile zone. Push left, right to left.
Oh, I just realized there's a team with double
splash.
Got one.
Okay, nice. Got one.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Oh crap! I got double.
There's
I
two
have
more
one.
here.
There's two left.
Need
Two
help,
left.
need
Two
help.
left. Oh, ouch.
Uh-oh.
Got one.
Nice.
All right, we should be able to hold zone there. We're jumping
Okay.
in.
Watch the bridge.
There, I marked the slosher.
Okay.
Watching
Okay,
K
there's
machine
two left. Two left.
run the
Then.
ramp.
I'll think for it.
Jim, watch behind you on the right because there is a slosher nearby me.
Right, right.
Okay.
He's very low.
Oh, yeah.
They dropped in.
Ah.
They bollard. Oh wow.
Oh.
I gotta jump out.
No.
I didn't get out.
Oh, crap. No, no.
Okay, we win.
Yeah, we
have
can't
bomb
just
rush.
like let them have bridge.
gonna
Then we
jump
get
out.
flanked.
Just jump out too fast.
Yeah. I'm really close to my missiles. Okay. I got him again.
I have
I
my
might
bomb
die. I
rush.
died so fizzy. Dang it.
Okay, there's two
All right,
right,
stay safe.
two
Stay
left.
safe. Build specials. Don't go in yet.
I had mine.
We need to wait
There's-
for numbers.
Both slashers are on the left on me and a 96. I'm gonna armor now.
All right.
Alright.
Okay, I have
One
my
went
missiles.
Mid.
Can someone come to left bridge and throw a bomb on this, please?
I'll see if I can help. Oh,
I'm
they're
bomb
on
rushing
the
the gun.
Okay, we got two.
There's one on the other side of this ramp.
Machine's on bridge,
Wait.
right?
Burst it, burst
Nice.
it.
Still one on right. Still one on right. Got me. Focus cap
Okay,
the zone if we can.
I pushed
Nice.
it. I pushed it back. Watch yourself. Watch yourself.
Yep.
There's gonna be one on
That's
right
fine,
still.
that's
One right flanking.
There's also one on the left. We're just gonna get taken by the left here. I have to jump out. This is
Okay.
bad.
Yeah.
Got one with a bomb.
Alright, watch your right, Jim.
We should have a good stagger here. Got one.
Nice.
Missling
Okay,
bridge.
Nico,
Just
found
going
the
on
other
zone.
slasher.
Focus the.
They're bollering
whichever
to
one
you.
you see. That's
Well,
fine.
push off of.
What?
Zone, zone, zone,
What
zone,
hap-
zone, zone. Where?
It
A
was a
bomb.
There's three left.
Oh,
It was a bomb. It was a bomb.
Push forward. There's three looking at me.
Taking
Alright,
bridge
I'm
back.
done.
Oh, geez, yeah.
Okay, watch the left.
Okay, I've got to back up.
There's
I'm
three
down
there,
to
Jim.
Slosher. Yeah, I know.
I'm paying for you two first.
Okay.
One on
The
bridge.
machine's very weak.
Watch the fizzies.
Whoever the splash
all
is, can
right.
you get on the right and maybe
Yeah.
try to go around?
Okay.
Otherwise,
On the-
I don't
on the
really have a
left?
place to. No, the right.
Missling all
There
There are
four.
3 on the left. You don't want to take the left.
Yeah.
There's
Okay.
one of the sloshers in our
I'm being
base
zoned
again.
out
Both,
from zone
I'm-
here.
both
gonna bomb
sloshers
rush.
are in our
Okay,
street. I got one.
Okay, nice. I missed the
Alright.
3 that are remaining.
Take advantage of the bomb rush and try to paint it.
They're pushed back left.
Nice.
I'm putting fall off over the
Yeah, I
buckets.
got it. 96.
I'm
I
gonna come
tapped
here and
him.
try to push left with Debbie.
Yeah, there's 2. Zap and another.
Watch bridge.
I
Slasher
didn't
down.
get one. There's another. There's
Got
a zap.
another.
Nice
Nice.
pinch.
K-Machine
One
on the right?
grid.
It's on the right.
Yeah, it's K-Machine.
One our ramp, or their ramp rather. It's I shouldn't have pushed it.
Just keep an eye on this guy.
Try to hold
He's
zone.
here.
10 ticks.
Yes, just...
It's like
Okay.
5 seconds.
Alright.
Just paint it. Just paint it.
Ah.
Oh,
The
it's-
baller,
Oh.
no! I got
Slash
one, but
machine
not
got
the
me.
second.
Oh, they're gonna see this.
I'm flanking behind.
Yeah.
There you go. Good job. Good job. Good fight. That's one down. Another one weak on bridge.
Close to bomb rush.
Oh,
I'm
man,
painting
that
the
is
left.
really
I'm
bad right
using
now.
Okay, I got one fall off.
Okay, one is
Missling the
close
remaining
by.
ones.
2 left. On me.
Okay, right.
I got
I think
one.
I
I
can-
Okay.
traded. One there
One
snipe and one
got
left
him. One
corner.
traded.
Left
Okay.
corner, left corner,
2v2.
far left corner.
Zap's on me.
Don't let Zap go. Or don't let the zone go neutral.
Trying not to...
Yeah,
Ah.
paint this. Oh, there's nobody there.
Yeah, I lost the fight.
Oh. I have to do something
Machines.
really quick.
Yeah, we have to try.
I'm painting. Oh, that was close.
Ah.
That was a close one.
Yeah. At the very
Yeah.
end, I think we overpushed for kills instead of like trying to maintain zone. Might not
Okay,
have
Elise
realized
is,
how little
Elise
time
is
was
coming.
left.
Hold on.
Awesome.
Oh.
I should. Alright, hold on. I'll send her a little code.
Is that like clarinet music in the back?
Oh, that's my sister. She's doing flute practice.
I was gonna say it
Oh,
sounds more
okay.
like a flute. Where do you get clarinet from?
It's the audio quality.
Oh my goodness. As a
Right.
person who's played clarinet, I can tell you that that is not a clarinet. I can tell you.
Okay, fine.
I'm
Be
I'm
that
really-
way.
sorry
I will
about that.
be
My,
that way.
my sister had to decide to pick a great time to practice her flutes.
I mean, to be fair, I also promised I would play Minecraft with my brother, and then I didn't realize it was, right now.
Alright, Elise is here now.
Alright.
I'm trying to catch it. Oof, there's so many conversations going on. Thank you, Lenny. I'm glad that the videos were helpful. And good luck with getting that team up there in the ranks. That's already a pretty good start. How's it going, X-Ray? Still concerned about how much damage Squid roll will negate. Yeah, I definitely think that that could potentially be a problem as well. If it's just invincibility frames that you can activate and they last as long as it seems like they last, that's just like... You throw one out there when you think the charger's going to shoot and you probably just tank their damage. Like, that would be really bad. Well, thank you, Octophones. Hi, Luna. Nice to meet you. Buy followers. Primes don't actually do that. That is fake. We are blocking them. Gotta love the bots. Catching up. Hard to disagree. Albacore is the thing about Albacore is that it demands a certain amount of range on your team, but I think it is a very good, fair, competitive mode otherwise. Like, just the fact that it favors a particular kind of weapon doesn't necessarily mean it's bad to me. I like how it's not linear. It's really hard to like lock out because there are so many different angles you can come back from. Wide maps are really good. I like the like square maps or circular maps more than the rectangular ones. We are live on Twitch, or at least we should be. If we're not, then yeah, we're live on Twitch. We're there.
I think Elise is here. She's in the waiting room.
Awesome. And then they'll just need. Have you DM'd them the password? Don't say it out loud on stream, obviously, but.
Yeah, I DM'd.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's coming.
Hi there, Elise. We are here in this league lobby. So
hello.
Hop on in whenever you're available.
Guys, I am. Okay, yeah, I am so sorry.
Hey,
you
it's all
guys
good.
told
It's
me
all
that it
good.
was the 30.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Okay, just wait a second. My Switch is being weird and it doesn't want to start.
It's all good. I'm gonna turn
So,
Elise down just a little bit. There we go.
You're the one who's gonna coach us?
Sorry, what?
You're Gem. You're the one who's gonna
Yes,
coach,
I am Gem.
who's gonna coach us.
Nice to meet you.
Alright. Yeah, nice to meet you. I guess my teammates already told you I am the captain. So,
Welcome, Captain.
Captain high five. Whoosh.
captain, high five. Yay.
It'd be like a three-way high five because I've got a team too.
Yes, it would be. Sorry, I didn't
Yeah.
include you on this one. My bad.
It's okay. Three-way high fives hurt.
I can make up for the high five in person on Friday, okay?
Yeah, there we go. We're going to LTC to Low Tide City. I'll be there on the casting
Ooh,
desk, and
nice.
I will also be playing. So, no guarantee that our matches are going to get streamed, but we'll be there.
We'll have to put a link in Squid School when you and I are on mic since we're comm partners.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
That's great. I wish I could go, but it's kind of far away.
It's
Yeah,
definitely an
same for me.
investment. It takes money.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
I am looking to go into Retai in September.
Cool.
The problem is, I live in Latin America, so.
Oh wow, that's even more of a haul for you guys, and I don't even know what the COVID restrictions are and everything for flying internationally at this point. They're probably not as
Yeah.
bad as they used to be, but like there was a while where the United States was just quarantined completely. Like,
Would you like me to answer this question for
nobody
you?
wants to. Sure, you. I guess you've been looking into it, huh? What's up?
Right now, thank gosh, it is open. They've actually opened the border so you can go across. But
That's
I
from
still have
Canada.
to-
My
yes,
understanding
I
is that
still-
the restrictions are from other countries and not from the United States.
well,
on that
even
front.
for other, it's still like the same around because I still had people go out from like where I work. I've had people travel out to other countries as well, and it's been relatively the same. Actually, lighter. Like I'm the only one who's like the States is the only one that's still requiring like proof documentation of a negative COVID test. Meanwhile, I've heard from people who went to like Hawaii. I've heard people who went to the UK. They didn't have to do that. They just needed proof. So I have to do this one extra thing just to get across to the States while they go like halfway across the world to like the UK.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make any sense.
No, it does. It actually makes perfect sense because the United States
guess it
handled it
does.
abysmally, and so
I
it's the
know.
United
Yes.
States that the other countries have to be worried about in this case. Like they have to worry about bringing it back with them is really the concern there.
Yeah.
It's still just
Yeah. I get
And
it.
so it's like
Annoying.
different countries coming to the U.S. are going to have different policies for the U.S. And so that's why I was saying, what you have in Canada might not be the same as what Elise has from someplace else.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. So right now, I am just looking in, like, I am trying to find the money to go to Riga, but I guess if I end up going, I would have to look into the whole traveling internationally thing.
Mhm.
I don't know. It'd be
Yeah, getting a passport and, making sure you know all of the weird little local customs so you don't accidentally offend someone and get in a fight.
But hey, I've been talking to my teammates for a long time.
Yeah, there you
I'm
go.
pretty
There you
sure
go.
that
You'll be
that I
fine.
have that down.
Oh yeah, she's fine. It's not much different culturally. At least I'm pretty sure.
But
I don't
let me know when you're. Did we give you the password? I forget, Elise.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay, sorry.
Raccoon, I am going to the room. Again,
Cool.
I am so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay, so with what you said?
Yes.
You sent me the password over here. Right, it is.
And we're not sharing the password out on stream because then we would have already had someone jump in here by now.
Yeah, so it is. Okay, we are on stream right now.
Correct. We are on stream. People can hear you. Say hi to the people.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, audience.
Ooh.
Hello, audience. Elise, Captain of Ink-87 here. Alright.
Alright.
Okay, so Starfish, how about Court? What do you want me on? E-Leader or Firefin?
We currently have a
see-
splash. If we do want armor, then maybe Mr. Awesome would switch over onto that, and then you could play Firefin instead. That could work.
I could use that.
It's also a matter of what you're more comfortable with, Elise. I don't know what you play more often.
She uses both equally.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm answering for her. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Yeah, no, but I've seen Starfish, and for Starfish, I much more prefer the E-Leader, honestly.
Okay.
I agree with that statement.
You
They
play
truly are.
Starfish too?
E-Leader can thrive on these two maps for splat zones, that's for sure. I know it was really common in Low Ink this past weekend. We had a couple E-Leader one-on-one duels on these maps, main stage particularly, that went down in Low Ink that I got to witness, and it was pretty great.
Oh yeah, oh my god. Freaking Charger 1v1s are intense.
Yeah, it's like,
It
who's
seemed-
gonna peek first? Are you gonna peek first, or is it gonna be you? Peekaboo, I got you.
And then like half the time someone else just comes and like finishes off one of the chargers because they weren't paying
Yeah.
attention.
Usually I die because somebody flanked me.
Hey, cut that
It's
out.
weird
We were
because-
having an honorable 1v1.
I
Yeah.
do that, and sometimes this is also like why I come up with the idea of the backline dance, especially like when like me as a splatling fighting a charger, I'm like doing the back and forth peek, right, distracting them, and then it's just like I see my teammate coming up from behind, right, and I'm like, let me just do this a little bit longer, and they pull off the flank, and I'm like, I just had to dance.
You know what?
It's
We
so
might try
funny.
to do the same thing. We might try to do the same thing ourselves because we struggle sometimes against strong backlines, so we need to get that down.
Debbie
think it's
used
very
taunts.
funny.
It was super effective.
It can
Yeah.
be. It definitely can be.
Alright, forgive me, I haven't warmed up.
All
Yeah,
good.
me neither.
Me
So
neither.
speaking of,
I don't think any of us have.
Yeah,
I'll
I
go
was
right
literally
for him.
in Minecraft.
I'm gonna go to Snipe first.
Yeah, I go center.
Minecraft warm-ups, Pog. The true esport.
True.
Okay, I'll flank the right. There don't seem to be changes.
Alright, that's one down. Let's
Okay,
get
Oh,
armor and
I
rush with
think
it.
Zap-
Or we don't have armor, never
Austin, I
mind.
think
He's one. Zab is
there's
one.
Zap-
They're watching me. Leader's watching me though.
Okay, watch out.
Got their
Missile
missile
incoming.
there.
Nice.
Dynamo dead.
Missling remaining two.
Snipes on snipe.
Thanks, Snipe.
So,
Okay,
that's
Two in
one.
their
is
court.
here.
Two in their court, rushing it.
Yeah, I'm coming with you.
Got one. Another
Try
one.
dead.
Nice, nice.
Dynamo is the last
Don't
one.
overcommit to it. You can back up and let them have a little
Yeah,
space. Some of
I'm
them are
watching.
coming out left anyway.
Yeah, left.
Okay,
Dynamo's
that was
left, nice.
so bad.
Zap's on
I have
left.
rain.
One.
Charger top
Oh,
left.
sniper coming.
Okay, they're gonna come in now.
Okay, I'm
There's
gonna-
one. There's one behind snipe. And
Got
there's two left, I
missiles.
think.
I'm down to
I got
sniper.
missiles on me.
They're gonna come in through their street.
Crap, that's back down.
On zone, on zone.
Try
Two.
some zones, yeah.
Yeah.
Try.
Okay, try.
Oh wait, just
sticking me.
keep the
Yeah,
zone
just keep
painted
them
so
over
we
there.
can-
Paint if we can. Zone. Ah, darn.
Oh.
Ah.
I can't, I'm an E-Leader.
No worries, no worries.
Oh my god, my aim is so bad.
Nice. Okay, we got zone back.
Watch attic. Maybe it's a right one.
Alright.
Sure.
Yep.
Yep,
there's
there's
somebody
there.
There is someone there, attic though.
I got one.
Charger, they're mini. I'm gonna go in from right. Oh, one their street,
I
popped
use
armor.
armor.
Try me. Yeah, on my out.
Well-
Try.
Try left behind us, yeah.
Charger's
There's
pressured.
one.
Okay, I got a try.
Charger jumped.
Alright.
Dynamo on me.
I'm gonna bomb rush
I should
behind.
die, but I didn't. Aha.
Okay.
I'm bombing.
This is probably a bad push up. Let's see if I can.
That's one right.
Missling 3 their
A
court.
little bit of a.
Alright, I'm sniped.
Oh,
Nice.
trade.
Good trade. That's fine. We keep position for
Uh,
that.
Snipe's gonna be sending the two.
Dynamo's gonna be
I
coming
got
out from left.
I
You're out
got
of ink.
let me gun. Okay, close.
I'm flanking behind.
2 on left. 2 on left. Keep zone. Nice.
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 Alright, good.
Dynamo ran out of ink.
Anyone have an opinion
Jim.
on? Sorry, I was-
Rafi's here. Sorry.
Oh, sick.
He says they won't have server access, but it's locked. Hold on.
I'll put the Discord link in the chat, and you should be able to
He-
grab it from there. Okay,
I
sick.
sent it to him. But he's having a little trouble. But he's here.
Question.
He's in the game.
Okay. Question from the
Alright.
chat was: does anyone have an opinion on if screen size affects aiming?
No.
In theory,
I'd
no.
say
Like, it doesn't
shouldn't.
mechanically change your aim,
Yeah.
but if, for example, you have a really, really huge screen and you have to kind of like move your neck to be able to see everything on it, that can make it harder to get all the information you need. And if the screen is too small, it can be more difficult to pick out details. So you want it in a nice kind of middle zone between those extremes.
I would say
Wait,
I played on my big OLED TV in the living room, and it was an interesting experience because it's like mounted on the wall up high, so it kind of hurts my neck. So I mean I wouldn't say it changed my aim, but it's just harder to see everything. So yeah.
Yeah.
Congrats to
guess my
Cyberus on the
problem-
power, by the way.
Same
I
with
guess I
me.
guess my problem was on handheld when I did my tryouts a long time ago, and the screen was so small that I couldn't see anything.
Bab, the answer to
Ending.
your question is rich people.
Alright, I'm on snipe. Two on
Oh,
actually.
hello.
Ooh.
Charger on right.
Sniper's on right.
They're pushing
see,
from
yeah,
zone. They're gonna push and pinch with the charger here. Need to back up to heal. I'm gonna
Try
get
and get this
missiles,
bomber.
and then we're gonna
Oh,
go
I'm
in from right to left.
Sniper got me already.
They're bumping.
Okay, I'm being chased by Charger and try. Well, that's not try. It's just a slosher.
Slosher weak. Got him.
Nice.
Nice.
Ooh. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
right
start
there.
from here.
Charger's still gonna be watching right. There's another one on us.
They have brain, I'm throwing it to zone.
They're weak. Got him.
Nice.
Jump to the
Charger
left
down.
bridge.
I'll
One jumping left. One
jump
jumping
to you.
left.
Oh, yeah,
Two on
yeah.
left. Two on left. Got one. Missling the other.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Do we need
He's
it?
the last
They're
one.
escaping. I don't
Alright,
think
I'll
they
try
Yeah.
and
Don't
flank
don't
right.
overpush it. Don't
Yeah.
overpush it.
I'm gonna go to the block in the middle.
Just get paint control and watch the ways they're gonna come in from.
There's one. They're flanking
Yeah,
right.
Charger their street. I'm gonna try and pressure it.
52.
Pressure
I am
them as
missiled.
well. I have missiles on me.
Oh my god.
Oh wait.
Slasher
What
from
happened?
left.
Okay, we're 2 down on right.
Yeah, watch
Alright.
bomb rush going in.
Yeah, watch the right,
Charger
guys.
dropped though.
Yeah, I have.
Ah, darn it. I
On
was
me.
trying to be sneaky.
I am in a corner. I died.
All right, be careful. We're staggered a little bit, so just
Oh yeah.
hold your
Charger,
ground.
Charger right bridge.
Watch the left.
Yeah, one coming over left bridge. It's 52 or Charger.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
go to-
52.
I got
Nice,
52.
52's down. Okay, let's start moving.
Alright, I'm bomb rushing left.
Slasher right.
Okay, they popped armor, so still be
Oh,
careful
this
a
is
little
probably
bit.
not a good time to get.
Missling the zone.
They're all three
Got
left.
one.
Careful Slasher too.
Whoa, that was a really laggy.
There's
watch-
2 on
yeah,
zone
watch
and
the
one
right.
from behind me. Got
Yeah,
Slosher.
Slosher's
Got
really
him.
nice.
Very nice.
Okay, Charger on left with help. I'm down to bomb.
I can throw you a rain. There you go.
We got
Still 2
two
left.
there.
Still 2 left.
52's one.
Alright, Charger's nice.
We got
Charger's nice.
52.
Hold zone if we can.
Yeah.
There we go. Nice.
Watch the far right.
Charger-
Yeah, there's a bunch of bombs coming from right.
Oh yeah, bomb rush. Yeah.
There's just Slasher.
Bomb rush over snipe. I'm just gonna try and paint through it as much as I can. I'm gonna get
Here is
missiled out of
coming, that
position. Okay.
You're on
Is there
me.
someone in
Oh,
our
there's
street?
one
Uh,
on straight.
there's
Straight,
nobody on left. I'm gonna go left.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice,
Uh,
nice one.
I'm down. Junior.
One.
Junior.
Charger
Okay, I'll see if I
weak
can
on
get
zone.
them when they. Okay, they fell into the water.
Got Charger. One their
On
snipe.
the snipe. I'm just gonna poke him. I got him.
Slosher
from
over on
right,
right.
Slosher.
Slosher right.
Alright, yeah.
Right?
Focusing
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Okay, they backed up to our ramp.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay,
they're
we
gonna
can
Let's
have
make
high
sure we
go.
hold for lead before we go for that anything.
At least.
One in zone.
Yeah, one
Okay.
zone. Nice, good pick. One in our street behind us.
Okay, Elise, I can see if I can
I'm
stick
down
with
to
you
Charger.
more because
We're 2 down. We're
I
2
don't.
down. Be careful. Save your
I'm gonna
special.
bomb rush this.
Good pick, good pick.
Oh,
Okay,
sorry.
yeah. Good stall. Good stall.
Oh, they have to. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, okay. I'll see if I can stay with you, Morley, because I have range to peek over
There's,
the
I was
end.
trying to go right.
Again?
Nah, I shouldn't have jumped in there. My bad.
Oh god.
We're
Sasha
two down.
got
We're two
you.
down. We're two
Okay.
down.
I'll see if I can get him
Yeah.
when they're taking over here.
Sniper's on left.
Is
He's
there someone in our
very,
street?
There's a
Yeah, charge our street.
Sniper.
charger.
Yeah.
Pidgey2's on right, probably with Bucket.
Okay, charger's forced out. We need to get going on the zone soon.
I have my
I'm trying to get my
DMs,
special
but-
safely.
Missiling the one on the
Charger.
left. I'm gonna go in from
Pidgey2's on me,
left.
got him.
I'm pinching from left. Push right to left.
Hammer,
I'm going.
be careful.
Ah.
Got one.
Oh man, they got
Okay,
a lot of
Sasha's
damage.
really
Dead,
weak.
nice.
Good job. Good
They're all
job.
dead. They're coming off of respawn.
Careful, Mr. Awesome, you're
They're
low.
coming from snipe. They're coming from
Yeah.
snipe. They have a wall.
Oh crap, my nose issues.
Okay, Elise, watch out for the other sniper.
Ah.
Sorry. I'm being chased.
On
yeah, I'm gonna
left?
die here. Sorry, there's 3
Oh,
guys
shit.
there.
Okay, I'll see if we can hold for zone. I'm just trying to stall.
There's 3 guys left.
But
Be
they're really
careful of
coming
that.
in. I don't know if I can.
Alright, I'm down on left.
I'm,
One on
Okay,
left
bomb
bridge.
rush
Watch
is
the
coming
left
through.
flank.
Charger is bomb rushing.
I'll help you, Toothpaste.
Left flank,
Just,
left flank,
stay
street, left flank.
Yeah. Ah. They got. No.
Have bomb rush. I'm gonna
Oh.
bomb rush for now.
I think.
Got one.
Around.
Nice.
Okay, we can go in on zone. The other one's behind us.
Bucket's on our side. Bucket's
Yeah.
on our side.
Paint zone, paint zone. They can't get there in time.
Bucket's behind us.
Charger
Yeah.
dropped on zone. Got him.
And
Oh, he's
Bucket
keep on the
fell.
water.
Another one on me.
Water.
Junior, they're weak. Got him.
Nice.
I'll see if I can hold this bridge to stop them from flanking into
Got a
our
third.
street.
Yes, please.
They can
snipe,
move up
hold
a little
snipe.
bit, I think.
Chargers,
Okay, I
they're
see
snipe.
charges peeking it.
They've got a paint.
Flush your right. Flush your right.
Uh-oh.
Got him.
Good stop, good stop. That's game.
Nice.
Nice. Oh, I fell in the water again. No.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I
do need. Yeah.
I totally screwed that match up.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. We won.
There's somebody.
Well, I
who
didn't
needs
do
you
very
to
well.
be with me because I am always being flanked.
I can see if I can stay with you more.
Yes.
But I don't think I can like stick on the other side of the map for most of the time because But I'll see if I'll keep an eye on it and I'll see if I can head around the area.
Especially.
What do you mean by the other side of the
uh,
map? Like their ramp or their street?
Yeah, just like the divide on the pool, like our street. I mean,
A reminder,
Or
Breakfast in the
mostly,
chat.
or on our bridge.
He's in the waiting room.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let me go and grab them. Hello.
Hey, Raffy.
Oh my gosh, that freaked me out.
Sorry.
Hey, Ruffy.
This is where we just randomly go, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Sure. Sure, you can do that. We'll do one more and then we'll get started with the VOD review.
Platoon jump
Alright.
scare.
Right. I need to do good on this one. Because so far I've been embarrassing myself.
No, you haven't
But
been.
you've been doing really good, Elise.
No, I'm not.
Please.
Oh, don't say that
Embarrass
about
is not allowed.
We won almost every game, so
Kensa
saying a
Dynamo
lot.
Roller says, "How do you think of me as a weapon?" I think
What?
it is.
They are very cool, much love, much appreciation. I give
Yes.
hugs.
Appreciation to the Dynamos.
I think it's a really cool weapon. I think it's a not niche exactly. Like you can play it most places, but it's something where you have to like specialize in it a little bit because it's just so different from everything else.
They're
It's not
starting
like
to set
you
up
can
left.
like rotate off it very
And right.
easily. Okay, I'm gonna start trying to take their streets.
Thanks, this way.
Squeeze
They're
through their
feeding left.
Oh,
snipe.
God.
Squeeze through their snipe.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Got him. Good pressure.
Yeah. This way.
Yeah.
Try to go left bridge. Try to go to the left.
Oh
bridge.
yeah, yeah. I see the path they keep taking, or they've
Ah.
taken so far. I'll see if I
Is he
can
dead?
watch.
They're focusing on me. In
Try and
their
paint the
street.
zone. There's nobody there.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think.
trying. Oh, ain't dead.
Oh wait.
Oh. Oh
I'm
god.
distracting in their streets, so you guys should have a numbers advantage.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get the zone.
Ah.
Missiling the two zone.
There's 2 in zone.
Yeah, one of them's down, but I see the other one's backing up.
52 drops. He's 1.
The Jet and Squeezer are having to focus on me here. Okay, they finally got me. They're gonna be
He's
coming
52
from
is
snipe.
still here. Oh, sorry.
Squeezer
That was my
snipe.
bad.
And one from right bridge as well.
Yeah, right bridge. There's one left.
We are 2 down, so be careful, but I'm going to go in from right and try and pinch. Nice, nice.
Yes, please.
Good pick.
Yes, please. Yeah, careful, Ray.
All right, let's try and keep a zone here. We're really close to lead.
Oh.
One on the zone. Got one.
Tough, Jim.
Well, at least I think there's someone behind.
Yeah,
Got
traded
2,
Jet,
and there's
traded
another one.
Jet.
Nice.
Okay, nice.
Beautiful.
Where's
Okay.
their?
Oh
Where's
my
the
god,
two
that Jet has pretty much all in view.
Probably.
Is there somebody behind us?
Not so far.
Okay. I thought you said you died.
Okay,
Jen.
they
Oh,
pushed me
crap,
and got
there's
me.
one right. I didn't.
From their
I
snipe,
didn't
from
see
their
it.
snipe, squeezer.
On my ouch. Right bridge.
All right, we're gonna
Oh.
lose zone
Yeah, I
here.
see it.
Just be careful.
Yeah, yeah.
You're ink getting me.
Good push though.
Okay, ink is still there.
There's one on right side.
Wait.
Nice, good
One.
shots.
Oh crap. There's one left bridge.
Okay, missling left.
2 left bridge. Alright, good.
Push right to
There's one I
left.
dropped in. I got jet. I'm
You
gonna
got
bomb
Ray?
rush the left side so they can't do anything.
Squeezer on left.
Ray.
Got
Good
one.
shots, good
Ray's
shots.
on far left.
See if I can.
Pressuring
see if I can
Ray.
take him.
Ray should go down.
Right.
Nice.
Nice.
Alright. Keep an eye on the right.
Okay, I'm close
There's
to my
somebody there.
jet. Oh,
Watch their
There's
snipe. The
Ray.
squeezer's been going that way every time.
yeah, jet on my ouch.
Okay. I'll
Got
shark him.
T-Tech.
There's somebody behind you.
There's another one right bridge.
Really?
He's going far right on the incline.
Oh yeah.
He committed.
Missling right.
Okay. Got him.
There's 2 coming left. I am missiled.
I see them.
Yeah.
I see one snipe.
I'm gonna try and get bomb rush.
Okay.
Tick weak.
That
Nice.
was-
Oh, traded gal.
Got another. Jet last or no?
Uh,
Yeah.
there's
jet
one-
left
there's
there.
one-
Okay,
One
okay,
that
one,
fell.
one,
That's
one,
game.
one.
Nice.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Water.
You decided to take a little swim.
I think someone like painted their
Okay.
feet as they were trying to jump. That happens sometimes.
That's interesting.
Honestly, Jen, would it be okay if we swap Miss Crossum for Rafi for a second so he can play a little bit as well?
Okay, I was just going to hop into the VOD review, but if you want to play specifically, then we can do that for a match or 2.
Let's do
okay.
one more with Rafi. If,
Okay.
If you're okay
Okay.
with Rafi.
Yeah, I'll swap it for it.
Yeah, I don't have any complaints.
Yeah, I want you to
Oh,
play.
sorry,
so-
Mr. Awesome.
Right. Goodbye.
No.
Bye. You're still here.
Yeah. I will.
They're
I'm
here in spirit.
I'm gonna watch from beyond the grave.
It's like I can still hear his voice.
It's like Toy Story 3. I don't want to play with you anymore.
Ouch, dude. Ouch.
What's the
Oh,
password?
don't say it here. Don't say it
Don't
here.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's in the chat, I think.
I'll
Yeah,
DM
yeah.
it to you if you need it.
chat. Okay, like our
It's in
chat.
Event
It's in
Horizon.
Event Horizon.
Like-
if you want to.
Oh, all right, thank
It
you.
is DM'd.
Thank you.
Yeah, either one.
I dig the look dressed to kill these squids. Thank you.
Just real.
The swimming goggles are really a nice touch, I think. Very drippy, literally. Anyway,
Hey,
uh,
don't worry. I have an old man hat and some glasses.
oh yeah, I do not dress for the style. I dress for the function.
Oh
To
yeah.
answer
Yeah,
the
true.
question in
For the
the
function?
chat, how often does a splashdown cancel happen in high level play? Most of the time. There
Yeah,
are occasions where you can set up a situation where like you know that the player that you're up against doesn't have the range to be able to shoot you down in time, or like doesn't have the fire rate or something. So occasionally, like if you're up against a really short ranged weapon, you can kind of zone them back a little bit, hit them with some chip damage, and then get them with the indirect or something like that. That's usually how I see K-Machine players try to use it. But otherwise, the only safe thing to do with it is to super jump it in. Most of the time, with most weapons, you should expect it to get shot down against high-level players.
Oh,
That's
hey,
not to
this is
say
back.
that it's easy. It definitely is something that's, you know, up to a certain level of play, it's not a bad idea to test someone and like make them execute well. But you start playing against the best teams in the world, like you should just kind of expect it will not work and not use your special a lot of the time.
Or use it in a different manner. Like, I use it for special canceling a lot of the time.
Yeah, like use it to cancel bubbles. That's
Ooh,
actually
whoa,
low-key
that-
one of its
that-
best
that-
uses.
Got him, got him,
Nice,
got him.
Dynamo's down. We're still even.
Careful, inner,
Oh,
inner,
I'm
inner
getting
eye,
flanked
inner
from
eye.
right.
Alright.
Okay.
That
They
might
backed
not have
up,
been a
they
good
backed up.
jump. Yeah.
They are missiling, and they're gonna push in with that.
Okay.
Missiling
got
is a
him.
counter. One on me.
Okay.
Got him.
I'm
Traded.
gonna try and dislocate E-leader.
One far left. Flanking left. Flanking left. Our street.
Okay.
Let's
I see
see.
him, I see him, I see him.
I'm keeping E-leader off of snipe.
Good
Got him.
shots.
Nice.
Good stuff.
Nice, nice, nice.
Oh yeah. We can keep him
where
off
is
snipe
he?
for just a second.
Eye
and
on
then
me.
get under there.
Okay.
And I-
Alright, Charger and Snipe.
Oh.
Have rain on me.
They ran
Yeah,
away.
Okay.
They're in their court. I'm not gonna push it.
Behind us, behind us.
Okay, they jumped out.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
trying to beat
yeah.
zone. One on zone. One on zone.
Yeah. They're going to our
They're retreating to right. They've got armor, so be careful. They might come back.
I'll cut him off.
Oh,
Got
they're
him.
weak.
Good
Nice.
shots. Oh, it's on zone. On zone. And another one
street.
left.
Venom.
Dynamo
Oh.
Oh,
traded.
crud. Okay. I might not have needed to jump out there, but
This
That
guy
was
is
a good jump,
very
it was a good
aggro.
jump.
Yeah, this guy's a very flank heavy. Okay, I'm gonna go to bed.
I'm going
Sorry,
alright.
like,
I have bombs, I'll just save them.
Try.
I'm almost
flat
jet.
is, right wing.
Okay, I'm popping missiles. We're ready to go. Missiling
Okay.
3. The other one's left street. Got one.
Dynamo under
Try
our
on me. Try on
snipe.
me. Got him. Another one right side.
Yeah, trying.
Good stuff.
Right
good
side?
stuff.
Okay.
They rotated to left. They're on zone. On zone.
Alright.
Charger on zone as well. Be careful about peeking that.
I have
Oh, yeah.
K-shot on
Dynamo-
left.
Dynamo
He's
left
focusing
wing,
me.
Dynamo left
Okay,
wing.
K-shot.
Dynamo, okay.
On left. On left.
Why?
Dynamo
Why
down.
is this Dynamo coming over here?
They-
Oh.
they're very
Oh.
flank heavy.
Bomb got me.
Okay, we're missiled.
Yep, I see Enkai.
Our right side is pretty open.
Yeah, try left.
Left.
One of them fell trying to
He
flank
fell.
left.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Just paint zone.
Oh, hi.
Oh,
Dynamo.
right.
right,
Dynamo
right.
and
Nice
Attic.
pick on the
I got
dynamo.
him.
Okay. I'm bombing E-leader off the snipe.
Missiling all
I
3.
have my jet.
They're gonna be
Someone
backed
coming
up
at me
to
on
court. So
right.
One on right. One on right. Right wing.
Try on me, yeah.
I hit him twice. Nice.
Got him. Okay, I see.
Charger's gonna be their sniper
leader
or
in
something.
court.
Yeah, they're in their court.
I think they're
They're rain. On left attic.
left attic, yeah.
Got one. Their
The
sniper.
very aggro Dynamo.
Leader trying to get back and
Leader
snipe.
jumped out.
Someone jumped.
Left
Nice.
attic.
I'll just stay on this left side. Try to catch anyone dropping down.
Yeah.
One top left.
I'm staying on right.
Oh, hi, leader.
Leader, don't peek him.
I
Left
tried.
wing, left wing.
Popping missiles
Yeah.
because it's almost the end of the game.
Dynamo on my ouch.
Got one. Oh man,
Okay, I
we
got
want the
Dynamo.
zone.
Oh,
I guess they flanked.
Two of them flank. Yeah,
yeah,
two of them.
K-shot's weak.
They're one, they're one.
They're like, oh, they're jumping out. Nice.
Got
stuff,
him,
good
got
stuff.
him.
I got it.
I'm just gonna
Leader
keep
from
all
left.
the
Leader
bombs
from
on.
left.
Oh, yeah. Dynamo's.
Dynamo
might
there as
try
well?
something
Dynamo
new.
too.
Nice.
This Dynamo needs to stop being. I don't know why. This
Try
is
on me.
working.
Their street got him.
Yeah. I went down to bomb.
Okay. I'm gonna try and paint zone here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
missiles.
got missiles and rain on me.
Oh, let's go. Is there someone following
They're
you?
pushing zone. They're gonna get capped. Darn.
Oh, Dynamo. Stop.
Oh.
Try pushing
Dang it.
me on right.
Okay, shut. Okay,
I'm
They're out
down.
of ink. You guys can probably pick up Dynamo.
I'm trying to get
It's
Dynamo.
2v3. It's
I got
2v3.
them.
Nice. Okay. Keep your specials. Wait for us to be ready.
Yeah.
nice zone.
Whenever you're set, just call that you're going.
Okay.
I'm close to my jet,
Center in
and
range.
I.
Yeah, let's do it now
Dang
before
it.
they
Ah,
crud.
Mm.
That was
oh, that's not good.
I was too hesitant there. I just sat there for like 10 seconds.
Yeah, we were
Yeah,
all ready
I
to
got
go.
me.
Okay, we're gonna need to
Oh.
jump
I like
in
bump.
to get there in time, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got one, but I'm down.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah.
They had specials when we were trying to get back in.
Right. We had specials before they did because 2 of us stayed alive. So the play there is to use our specials before they get theirs and they can counter push.
Right.
So that we win a fight while we have advantage. And we were all like spawned at that point, and we just kind of waited for 3 or 4 seconds, and that gave them the time they needed for their specials. So,
Yeah.
we'll talk about little things like that, but
Okay.
we should definitely get started with the VOD review, because otherwise it's going to go long, I guarantee you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to shift over to that. So thanks for playing,
Alright.
guys. You're doing a great job of responding to callouts. There's some great picks going on, some great teamwork. Like what I'm seeing there. So we're going to pull up the scrim that you guys had versus Hidden Radiance of the Dawn. I'm going to shift the screen over to that.
I'm gonna recognize names.
So we're,
Yes, you are, probably.
if you recognize the name, then it's totally deserved. They're very good.
Okay,
Huh?
and I'm gonna. I'll stay on the screen for now. If I'm blocking something, maybe I can take myself off. At this
Right,
point in time, feel free to like anybody who sees something in chats that like someone asking a question or something like that. It would be good to let me know that there's a question because I will not be able to read chat from this point forward myself.
Got you.
Thank you,
Alright.
Debbie.
Also,
Right.
make sure you Discord screen share.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, I was
I
wondering
think
that.
these
Like,
guys kind of need it, you know?
no, I don't need to see the video.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
don't need to
just
see the live
remember
feed.
frame by
Agreed.
frame what happened. God.
Yeah, I'm creating a mental
Absolutely.
All right. So we're going to watch this from Mr. Awesome's perspective. Mr. Awesome's playing the Zap here. I'm going to turn the volume down a little bit. And this is Wahoo World Zones. So one thing that I didn't go into and look at, because this is like an hour and 15-minute scrim, I didn't look into what you guys have been talking about regarding the other team and adaptations you're making to them. In some circumstances, like, you know, tournament play, for example, when you go up against a team, you see what weapons they have in game one, and you can start thinking, okay, how do we theory craft around that game two? And you can kind of keep a running memory. What does this team play? What does their backliner run? Do they have a backliner? Do they have, you know, a brush or a roller or some kind of ambush weapon like that? Like, what do people like to play, and what can we do to counter that? And you might be able to, you know, shift your play style around. It's usually good, in my opinion, to kind of have a general, you know, typical team comp that you guys will run so that you can get really used to playing around that. But it's also nice once you start getting comfortable around each other to have like little variations you can play on what you normally do to account for other strategies that you want to be able to counter harder. So that's something that we're not going to be talking about too much for this, but that's also, you know, that's something that is maybe beyond the scope of what we're doing, but it's something to be thinking about. Like, did we know that they were going to have a brush? Did we know they were going to play backlists, stuff like that?
On
So-
glass both
Alright.
times? No, second time on.
No.
All right. I like the map checking. I like that we're talking about, you know, where we're going right now. Right now what we have
On left.
is the
Yeah.
Zap
But,
and
that's okay.
the tent going out on the right.
They're already coming to play.
Usually what I tend to see people do if they have a tent is put the tent over on right by themselves and have the Zap pushing in from left. The reason for that is that the tent is the most self-sufficient weapon on the team, except for, well, okay, I guess there's the E-leader, but they're staying back, and that's why they're self-sufficient. But the tent can kind of put themselves in more danger than the other weapons can and be alone, and that makes it a really solid distraction on right. The thing about putting the Zap over here is that now the enemy team should actually be just focusing more of their attention on this side, because the only player that's going to be pushing in from the left side is going to be the Nautilus, and while they are a very strong slaying weapon, they aren't a shooter. They can't just like get into a position and shoot immediately. They have to set themselves up a little bit. So they can be zoned out a little bit if the other team just like has their support throw a bunch of bombs at the Nautilus, and then the entire rest of the team focuses on this side, they could actually go for it. Whereas if you just put the tent over on one side and have the rest of the team pushing in from the other side, now that's like two different things that they really should focus on. And that can split their focus a little bit better. I don't think it's a terrible idea to have the Zap going over on right, and, you know, you probably get some good bomb angles from there. It's just you're kind of forcing Elise in Tooth. Is it Toothpaste? Is that what that's short for?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Like, it's Darknet.
Tooth is like a little bit more threatening. It is a little bit more of a gamer kind of tag, like tooth and nail, you know. But no, it's toothpaste. I appreciate that
username
it's just
change.
toothpaste. Anyway, so it's going to make it so that you guys are a little bit less able to push in. Like you have to play a little bit more passive. Having the zap over here might enable you to push for plays a little harder. Just trusting that Raffi is going to be able to stay alive there. But all of that aside, generally what I'm seeing when I look at your comp is that this is a very passive comp, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Any team that has a super backline weapon like an E-Leader or a Hydra, the way that they're going to want to play generally around that is they lose if the enemy team can take angles that backline weapon can't see. That weapon has really long range, which is extremely powerful, but part of any weapon like that, if it's going to be at all balanced, is that it's going to be weaker up close, which means that charger needs to take very specific positions, and if the enemy team gets into some place where that charger can't see them anymore, that becomes a problem for your team. That's a situation where you don't want to be fighting them, because if you fight in a place where Elise can't see you, you're in a 4v3. Even if nobody has gone down, even if you don't have the advantage, you haven't given them any other advantages. So in order to not push into positions where Elise can't help, like for example, their ledge, what's going to happen is you're going to keep mid and, you know, put paint pressure down, but not really contest it that hard. And you're going to wait for them to feed into you. Because let's say they get zone first. Well, they're going to want to push forward and push you further away from the zone so that you're not threatening it as much. And that's when your weapons are going to thrive. A Nautilus peeking out from around the corner and just absolutely deleting someone instantly. A Charger deleting someone even more instantly than the Nautilus can somehow. A Tent just drawing all of the aggro and letting their teammates get shots in around that. That's where you guys are strong. And to your credit, the first like 91 points that you push in this game are basically flawless. There's very little else that you guys could be doing better. We'll see that this goes exactly according to the plan that I talked about. They pop armor, but it doesn't matter. You guys aren't overcommitting. You're painting a little bit, and you're staying safe. So their armor doesn't really amount to much here. You guys pop armor now. Their armor is pretty much all the way over.
Right.
And now you can really start pushing onto the zone. In these situations, one criticism you could say of this comp is that it's very slow to be able to push in. Your best pushing weapon is going to be your tent, and tent is very slow. It's very thorough. Like as soon as a tent is in place, it's very hard to move, but it's going to get there very slowly. You don't have a zippy little Neo Splash or something like that that could get around this wall and flush people out for your Nautilus to shoot at or anything like that. Like, you guys have to kind of wade through enemy ink rather than running across it. So you guys get a great, I don't know if this is a Nautilus pick or if this is a Collad or something like that, but 2 players go down. And so this is your time to shine. You guys go in, you get the zone, and you start painting your way forward. I like that you are painting this up, but also one of your priorities, especially as a frontliner, should be clearing their ledge because of,
I'm gonna get onto their ledge.
I think exactly what happens here, yes. They have someone still sharking on the ledge. I couldn't remember if that was here or not, but the situation suggested, wait, we should still be watching that, and yeah, there was actually somebody there. I would clear this before I worry too much about people who are down below their snipe, because this is, the more immediate shark. They pose a more immediate threat to your team. You don't want to be giving your back to someone like this. So definitely paint up their ledge first. Make sure that they're either dropped down into court or dropped over snipe or pushed over to the left-hand side. And that's what lets your tent and your E-Leader get into the positions that they want to take for lockout. Once you've got this position, if everyone were to just stand still for the rest of the game, you guys would win because you have the zone. And it's important to remember that. One of the biggest issues that a lot of teams have on splat zones is over pushing when they have control. Even when I remember we played in one of the Nintendo tournaments against FT Win. So we're like some Div 6 team at this point in time, and they're literally the best team that has ever come out of North America. They still didn't spawn camp. They didn't push all the way into our base because they knew that if they pushed too far in, they were putting themselves at a disadvantage. In zones, you push about like at most 75% of the way in and hold there. Maybe you send like a frontliner in for a sortie really quickly and then bring them back. But you don't try to hold any further than that. And I would say on this particular map, the furthest you want to be is probably into their court. Maybe if you can get a really good flank off, you can go in onto their plat with like one person and then bring them back. But you never want to go too much further past their court. And if you just stay in their court, you're still at a disadvantage because you don't have height advantage over everybody. The most you can do is kind of like shark there and hope they swim past you. So you guys do a great job at first of not over pushing this. Now, once you have dealt with the threat that's here on ledge, going back to that idea, deal with the most immediate threat. Once this is clear, you want to either be looking at the left or on the other side of snipe. Swimming backwards here is like, I don't know what this is accomplishing for you unless you're maybe looking for someplace to farm special more. Maybe you're trying to get your tent in front of you before you turn around and go back. But I would definitely have my camera turned while I'm retreating so I can see anybody who's coming at me. Because I know that the whole area behind me is just painted purple. Like, we just got the zone capped, and we cleared everybody out of there. So the threat now is going to be coming from behind you. And not watching that, you come very close to getting picked by this brush.
Watch out.
Also, running back to the zone, now the missiles are going to drop on the zone. Whereas if you were further forward, you could wait a second for the missiles to like drop further forward and then back up. And they would be falling in a relatively irrelevant place.
Okay, I got missiles on me.
So, very minor thing. You guys handle it pretty well. From here, you move off to the left, and I guess part of your game plan is to have the tent hold this, which it totally can do, and I totally respect that. There are some people over here, so I would probably at least have thrown like a bomb or something just to make sure that they're not, getting overwhelming force on that spot. There is also a brush with a hammer, which would be very scary against a tent shield. They might have to pop their own hammer, or I don't know how that count. What happens if two hammers run into each other? I've never actually seen that. That would be weird. Anyway.
What happens is they both get splatted.
Okay.
They trade with each other.
And
I've done this several times.
That's honestly a win for their team because they get rid of the tent, which takes multiple people to deal with, and that's in that position. So you might want to give a little bit more support on that side, but it looks like part of your plan is to have like the tent over here, and then for you to be holding this spot. And so it's good that you have that plan. When you get here,
I'm just getting armor.
Now that your teammate is here, I would at least start painting this area. What you do instead does work out because you have the fire support from your teammate. But what you don't want to happen is while Toothpaste is shooting at someone over here, you don't want someone to sneak over on the left. So yes, you might be giving your position away, but let's say you paint this area right here. It's going to take them significantly longer to move this way, and they're going to be able to do that a lot less sneakily. You're going to see that coming, and Toothpaste is going to have shots on them while they're standing and firing over your ink. So it keeps Toothpaste a lot safer to just paint this instead of trying to shark and maybe sneak up on them. Toothpaste is already all the kill power that you need over here to do anything with that, and so you don't have to like try to be the hero of this. You can just kind of support Toothpaste in doing that.
They're going under ledge.
Tooth does a great job of kiting this player back, and Raffi is absolutely holding it down on the zone. So despite the fact that they tried to push with, it looks like 3 people on the right, you end up getting a pick and not losing anybody and not having to use any specials. I like that you're popping armor here. When a member of the enemy team goes down, that is usually a great time to pop armor, because that means that you guys have numbers advantage and you're adding your armor advantage on top of that. That's going to let you guys just kind of hold forward and win fights. And opportunities to do that for your team comp are going to be relatively small. So the fact that you're capitalizing on that window and taking the opportunity you have to push up is great. These two kind of catch you off guard here. And part of the reason they catch you off guard is that you didn't have it painted before. There was someone behind you who I think goes to fight Toothpaste, but if they had gone on you instead, they probably could have gotten you. They mess up their aggro here because they probably maybe don't expect you to be there or something like that. But I think against slightly stronger players mechanically, they probably could have focused you down, and then Toothpaste would have had to retreat. So that's one, way that they might have been able to get in. And the way that you stop that is just by having this area here. You can see my mouse, right?
Oh yeah, I can.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
The way that you stop that is by having this area right here painted up before they push over. Better for them to expose themselves by painting than for them to get right on top of you without knowing you're there. Because, I'm sure it's happened to you sometimes that you start painting over this area of turf and then accidentally splat someone without realizing that they were there in the first place, right? Sometimes that advantage of sharking doesn't even help you. It's kind of a riskier play. It improves the chances of success, but it doesn't guarantee them. Whereas if they're forced to stand out in the middle of their court and paint while a Nautilus is shooting at them with height advantage, that's a much more guaranteed thing. So generally as a Zap, you want to just be painting as much as you possibly can, and an excuse to paint that's also tactical, definitely take that. So pushing in here, let's see, we get this one player, and then we're checking back here because there was another player. Okay, so not pushing your teammate, so that we know that other player has to be over here somewhere. And when you push in here, we know that there's still 3 up. There's a whole lot of ink to your left here. You're lucky that the brush doesn't trade you. They miss a lot of shots to make that happen. Yes, you've got your Nautilus watching over you, but no need to trade when you could paint up more thoroughly and force them back and get them into a better fight, If they, just try to back up, worst that happens is they back up to snipe and this one guy tries to flank over glass. And that flank over glass, you saw that coming. You can call that out. You can make everybody aware of that and have them deal with it on zone. And in the meantime, you can be pushing them on snipe and preventing this body of the rest of the team from going and putting pressure on. It's a 4v3 at the moment. You've got advantage. You don't need to worry too much about this player. Try to keep yourself alive, though, because you going down does help them equalize. It cuts how soon you're going to have armor. You're one of the best painting weapons on the team. There's a lot of reasons to keep yourself alive, especially in this comp.
Got him.
So,
Where?
yes, you are, one of the best weapons on your team at pushing forward into enemy ink, but I would also, weigh that against the value of preserving your life and just painting so that they have, less turf they can use. You do still have control of the zone. Remember also that putting turf down slows them down from getting to the zone. You are literally giving yourself free points by painting stuff that's in between them and the zone, because they have to spend just that second or two longer getting to the zone in the first place.
Okay. Just they have their armor saved.
So this is really good paint. I'm always really nervous about taking this position. If I'm going to go here, even as a frontline weapon, I'm going to do so with knowledge of who's up here behind me and knowing that I'm going to do a flank and then get the heck out of there. I don't want to linger here. So let's see what we do.
Yeah, one is coming to.
We end up painting all of that up, and then one of the other reasons I was kind of questioning why we were up here is this whole area, your team has controlled this all game. So there's nothing here for you to paint anymore. If you're trying to get another armor quickly, you're probably not going to get it from this position. You could try painting the unpainted turf of theirs on the left a little bit and then coming back. Or you could try putting yourself in a position where they're going to try and paint their way out and paint over that. I guess you're relatively safe here because you have a tent to protect you. But I don't know. The position that you had in court is something that they have to deal with. And yeah, if they run at you, you should probably just run away and like let Toothpaste deal with them. But you're getting in their way a little bit sooner if you're down here. I don't know. Both positions are pretty solid. This just seems like a little bit more passive than you needed to be.
I'm gonna put mine.
Okay, they're popping armor. With them popping armor, you know that they're going to push. And with the game about to end, you know they're going to push. So, in that situation, you probably want to be contesting the zone. You probably want to be somewhere where you can hold the zone. And yeah, you might have to back up a little bit because they've got missiles on you. But if you're able to just like outpaint them for a little while, if maybe Rafi's able to block their shots, you know, play like the Splatoon vacuum that's going to be in Splatoon 3 or something. If they're able to just stall and you're able to be on the zone painting it, you win the game here. Think about dropping into court, even in, you know, the enemy court, as jumping out and jumping back into your teammate. It takes that long before you're able to get back into a position where you're able to paint the zone. So from here, like, yes, it was starting to get a little bit scary, but if you just back up onto the zone, even if a few missiles land on it, you're, again, a strong painting weapon. They're not on the zone yet. You can paint over that and then just kind of keep painting over that and be more a part of the fight. The idea here that you have is to flank, which isn't a bad plan because, you know, this is a pretty effective flank to go for, and it ends up resulting in them wiping. Spoiler alert. But for one thing, the armor that you pop, they can see that you're here because you popped armor. They're maybe not paying attention to that or something, but more attentive players would have known that you're back there, and this might not have worked quite as well. Also, in this time, because you, the main painting weapon, are not on the zone, they are able to overwhelm the zone, at least with paint and cap, and earn themselves a way back into the rest of the game. You know, there's a world in which you win, or at least have a much lower score, but now it's 9 plus 68 that we have to go back through. So,
I'm gonna set up when they're.
All things considered, this is still a great outcome because zones is one of the most stallable modes. If you have, especially weapons that are entrenched in good positions like the E-liter and the tent here, you can definitely still hold this out. So this is still like, everything I've said so far is a nitpick. Everything I've said so far, it's not causing you to lose this game. You are still in a massive amount of control of how this game is going. And it is from here that we start seeing the enemy team claw their way back in. So let's figure out how this happens. First thing, right now it's 4v2, and so it's not bad to be taking some aggressive positions, but you have to be careful with a push like this. Remember, your team is slow. The tent cannot follow you into this position. The Nautilus could follow you into this position, but they are on left side and have been all game, and I expect that that's where they still are. And the E-liter, you know, maybe they could watch this angle here, but if you get too far in, if you get mixed up in too much of this, you're on your own. And remember, I said that you are one of the weapons that needs to play to protect itself a lot, because you are the armor for the team. You're also a lot of the team's paint and a lot of the team's ability to aggress forward. So committing to a fight here when you have to push uphill over unpaintable ink, probably not the call. At most, you know, you fire these shots, and let's take a slightly slower look at this here. So we see an ink drop here, and then we see a squid over here. So they clearly swam from right to left, and I think you miss them on the left. I don't think you see that movement, and you're still firing on the right, thinking that's where they are. But they've already, you know, popped up into squid form here. Now they're shooting at you. So now, knowing that your shots are missing, and, you know, it doesn't help that you're up against a brush, you need to be retreating to get out of this fight okay. You do have an escape route to your right, and you have cover to duck around to cut their line of sight to you. So as long as they don't have anyone pushing out on the right already, you can probably swim away from this and get away with your life. But we commit to the fight. I guess you think they're still there. you keep shooting at them, and at this point, someone is able to get over on the right and pinch you. This is a play that might work in solo queue, where like nobody sees you, like this guy doesn't know you're here. But in a team environment, you've got to think, okay, multiple of them are respawning. There's going to be more than one person watching me, and they're going to want to take multiple angles. So as soon as you've made yourself known, you either get a pick and get out, or you just get out.
Yeah, I see it.
So now you're one down. Enemy team has numbers advantage. You might be able to hold this
Oh, yeah, I
with
see 'em.
specials
Okay,
or
they have
something.
hammer.
One sec. I'm backing up so I can see what the state of the specials were. There we go. Yeah, you did have special advantage, so, you know, maybe a Nautilus Inkjet holds them back enough that you're able to hang on. You know, maybe you back up and the E-Leader's Rain is able to help out paint while you jump back in. There's still a couple... Excuse me. You've got such a big advantage that you still have a couple of ways that you can potentially hold the zone here. Let's see what happens.
Yep.
We know that there's one on the left. And, you know, to your credit, you are all backing up. You're all giving up ground because you have ground to give up. The difference between a world where you don't go down there and the world where you do is not that you lose the zone immediately, but it is that the fight for the zone is now happening a lot closer to the zone than it would have otherwise. This hammer, instead of being popped to try and like clear you out of this area, is getting popped to rush straight into mid and do a flank. So that's what, you know, going down early will do. And, you know, maybe you guys can deal with this. The direction that you're strafing is in the direction of where you should expect the enemy team to be coming from. They're going to come from left. They're going to come from right. The only other position they could possibly be coming from, realistically, is from behind snipe. They're probably not going to push from your glass. They're going to come from either behind you, which you know they're not there, left or right. Left is happening right now. You have to anticipate, you know, you don't see anybody else pushing with this hammer. They're probably going to be coming from the right for the most part. So if you're trying to get in the direction of safety and you drop here, you want to be going backwards in this direction. If the hammer continues to chase you, you can probably just swim away from that and get away from it in time. But if you go to the right, you're going to run into the enemy team, which you do. And now we're forced to drop. Now, remember what I said about dropping. Dropping is basically you're put on respawn. Dropping is putting you out of play for... Let's actually count how long this puts you out of play for. So we drop here, 301.
Go on, Plat.
So when is it that you're able to paint the zone again?
One on right glass.
Okay, so you're in play and doing things on the flank about 7 seconds later. A respawn is only 10 seconds. Jumping out and jumping back in is probably 5 or 6 seconds. So this is a pretty long amount of time that they're able to displace you. The fact that you're coming in for a flank might make up for it. You have this is great coordination, by the way. You have a special up while you're doing the flank, and you didn't really call this, so I don't even know if this is planned or if this is just really good improvisation on your part. I'm surprised that we're popping a special right now, not knowing if there's a flank. Maybe Toothpaste had really good vision and saw there was a flank coming around. But this is like, if you're going to try and hold in a 3v4 right now, this is the way to do it. You pop specials that overwhelm them a little bit and put a flank around so that you get outsized value out of the lesser numbers that you have. Now, Toothpaste does go down, but you get a pick in return. I like that you are painting this up and kind of playing it slow. Rather than popping that bubble, the thing about popping that bubble is it takes away all of your cover in mid. So if like their CDS or their mini were watching you from over here, you don't have anything to run away to, really. You have to kind of put yourself off the zone completely to get away from that. I would instead, because they're not going to go anywhere near this bubble, right? They're if they see the bubble there, they're just keeping a really wide berth around it, and it's probably not going to get someone unless you're popping it as soon as it goes out. So maybe throw a bomb over here, and now you've got zone control over this side of zone and this side of the zone, and you're able to flee to your own side.
Yeah.
Right now, though, there's someone on your left, there's someone on glass, there's someone right behind you. you're dead at this point. This is jump out at best. They have all the range advantage they need over you. They don't need to stay in the fight if they're getting damaged because their teammates can just step in. Like, this is a very, very dead end zap. Another play you could have made, seeing that, you know, your teammate was down, knowing that Raffi is still... Is it Raffi, by the way? Am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. See, Raffi was the first one who went down at the beginning of that. So knowing that Raffi is still getting in there and that your Nautilus is down, even before you know that Elise has gone down, going into the bubble and jumping out using that for protection might be the play here.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. They do a good job cleaning up. Holding here might be risky, but it might still work because you have a tent. Because this is a 2v4 fight right now. But you have some cover, you've got a tent. Maybe they can't push you out of that.
Brush.
No, they push you out of that. Okay. I couldn't remember exactly how that goes, but in a 2v4 like that, like, it's really difficult to hold. You have to be watching the flank really hard, and that's hard to do with only 2 people there. The tent is going to be distracted from this side, so if they put any damage over from the left, they have a lot of ways to kind of break that fortification. It's a low percentage fight, so you might want to retreat further or even jump out. One thing to be said about this map is that the lockout is nasty, but you always have places that you can push back in from. There's no way for them to spawn camp so hard that you can't just go in from the left-hand side every time. So probably better to save your specials, save yourselves, and avoid the stagger here. Because now that we're staggered even more, they're going to get to score for a good 30 points before you're able to do anything again.
Brush has hammer, he's waiting to use it.
All right. So you're doing the right things. You're keeping yourselves safe. You're getting specials. I'm a little bit nervy about Toothpaste being in this particular location, but you have a couple of people painting for them and looking over, so this could be okay.
I have armor.
And you got a canopy down bats.
So up goes the armor. This is pretty good timing. You're using the specials right as soon as you've got them, right as soon as you know that you have friends that are going to help you. This is a great time for an Inkjet to go out because Inkjet and armor are a really great combination. It'll keep Tooth safe from getting knocked out of the air like they were last time. The aim is maybe a little... Did you, Mr. Awesome, do you use... what sensitivity do you use for aiming?
Let me check, because I changed it not too long ago. I think what's been going on with my controller is like it's been losing connection a lot. It's like it doesn't really respond super well to my inputs for some reason.
It doesn't look like that's what's happening here. What happens here, let's slow it down a little bit. That's not the option I want. I want speed. There we go. Okay, so we'll get this going here. We're going to mute that because it sounds very strange. Okay, so we're getting there. So this is the right play, absolutely. You never fight a hammer head on unless you're like a Hydra and it's running at you from a mile away. You want to flank around because it has a very slow turning radius. So that will force it to either turn slowly and present its side to you, which you can just shoot, or it will have to go into squid form and then reinitiate the hammer, which is relatively slow. So this is absolutely the right play. And what happens with your aim here is you're behind him. You're like... in generally any situation, you want to be aiming in front of them and erring on the side of missing them in front of them, because in most cases, maybe not with the hammer, but in most cases, if you miss by aiming in front of them, you'll paint their feet. They'll run into like enemy ink and stop, and then as soon as they do that, you'll be pre-firing them, and so you'll have good shots on them anyway. Whereas if you miss from behind them, you're painting something that they're not trying to swim into anyway. And so here, for pretty much this entire engagement until right there, and even a little bit later, you're trailing behind them with your aim. And I'm wondering if maybe that's just an aim sensitivity thing, that like if you had higher sensitivity, that play would be easier to make. I am personally an advocate of running the maximum sensitivity that you're capable of controlling. I run +5/+5, and I worked my way up to that. So that's my 2 cents on that. There are top players, you know, much stronger players than me, who don't run +5/+5. I think there are some weapons that have better arguments for it than others, but that's my personal take on it. It's possible that aiming faster, you know, just being able to tilt the controller and get more out of it might have allowed you to hit this hammer without it like getting that close to you. Now you do end up pulling it off anyway, which let me look at this and see if I think that should have happened. I don't think it should have. I think they actually just missed you with the hammer swing, which is crazy, so that hitbox is huge. Let's back up one more. Yeah, right there, you should have died. They just missed you. And they miss you a second time, actually, as they start stamping again here. So this shouldn't even be a trade. This should be them beating you in terms of mechanics there. But since they missed, you were able to clean it up and finish the fight. So this is good. Good job being afraid of the rain, not over pushing into it. I wouldn't have dropped down there, though. Remember what I said, you know, dropping down puts you out of play for a while. We're at 211. Let's see how long it is before you're able to paint the zone at all again. In fact, you stay down here and paint for armor, which is probably going to be less impactful. A pitfall that a lot of supports fall into. And pardon me if it feels like I'm picking on Mr. Awesome here. It's just that that's the perspective we have. I'm sure we'd see plenty more egregious errors if we were watching. No, if we, you know, they're just the one that I'm seeing instead of the one I have a lot to say about. But something that is a common pitfall of support players is that their job is to paint, for sure. And so they go to paint things that don't really impact the game at this point in time. It's you know, if you're splatted and you want to just grab special really quick before you jump into the fight or something like that in your base, that's cool. But a lot of the time, the paint that's further back in your spawn, you want to save that so that you have an emergency armor if you need one, if you're getting locked out really hard. If your team is pushed further forward and you're painting something that's behind you, that's doing two things. One, that's taking you out of the fight, so it's putting your teammates in an artificial numbers disadvantage. But two, that's taking away that extra special that you could be charging later on if you need it for lockout. If you're on the front lines, the enemy team is going to be painting forward at you. That's kind of the definition of the front lines, that they're going to be there and contesting your paint. And right now the zone is contested. You're going to get just as much special charge, in fact more, because the enemy team is constantly refreshing the paint, the turf that you're able to paint. They've got like a kind of generator that they're giving you for your armor. So instead of painting around down here where you know that there aren't any enemy players, the most that I would do is paint the flank route so that you can see that coming early if you check the map, and then just get back up here where the fight is going on so that you can be helping contest the zone, which you probably could have capped by now if you had been up here, and helping your teammates if they get rushed. Yeah, like I don't think you have to lose the zone if you spend those 3 or 4 seconds up here. Actually, it would be more than 3 or 4 seconds. You spend 3 or 4 seconds painting down there, but it takes you another probably 4 seconds to swim all the way back around. So you could probably have been up here for the last like 7 seconds and have given them penalty already. This push is really risky. Oh, I've turned off sound. Whoops, let me go back for a second. Let me hear what they're saying.
Yeah, I died too. I did brush.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, this is too far back.
That's way back.
You mind, I broke their arm.
Canopy down bats.
Okay, here we go. This is the push. Oh, this is where you get forced off.
Canopy.
You drop down, and now we're back. Okay, sorry about that. So you go in here, I'm not hearing any calls about like what's going on the left, or like I'm not hearing anyone say push this, push this. If you poke yourself out here, especially with the bubbles popped, somebody on the left just has a free angle on you, and something like a mini is going to win that fight, or something like a brush is going to win that fight. And you actually just saw a bomb get thrown from left, so you absolutely know that is that a suction bomb? What is suction bombs here? Wait a minute.
I think it might have been the brush.
Does this
Yeah, I
brush
think
have
the
suction
K
bombs?
Brush
I think K Octobrush
The
has
K brush
suction
has-
bomb.
You can have the bubbles.
I didn't remember
That's
that.
what I died to right here.
Okay, suction bomb. Yeah, so you absolutely know that the brush then is on the left if you're better at knowing the weapons than I am.
Well, I just knew that because I died to him. I remember this part.
Yeah.
You can
So,
have the bubbles.
well, you can know before you make this push. Like, right there. You saw a yellow suction bomb. So there's someone over here, and even if you aren't putting it together that that's the brush, like, you know you probably shouldn't peek this angle unsafely. If you're going to peek this angle, you want to know that there's nobody on ledge, and you want to right side peek over here with your teammates watching so that nobody comes at you from mid. But it looks like you put yourself so far around the corner that you have absolutely no cover, and you're on the zone, and your teammates aren't watching with you. So this is what's probably going to happen most of the time that you do that, is the enemy team is going to see, oh, this person's isolated. If they're going to get a pick on you, that pick is going to paint the zone for them.
Getting a canopy onto their plat.
You actually get the trade, which is more than they probably should have allowed you, to be honest. But it's still a trade they win, more or less, because you paint the zone with your death. Your teammates are in a good position to be able to paint the zone from there, and so they're able to hold, but
Yeah, they're on the ledge, I think.
they don't have to be in a 3v3. They could be in a 4v3 or a 4v4 right now. Okay, so let's see how this goes from here. Rafi's getting a lot of pressure. Toothpaste is pushed back. Okay, yeah.
They're on the ledge, I think.
Yeah, they're in ledge.
I think it would be good here for Toothpaste to be calling that they're backing up, because Rafi is in there basically by himself, and if he gets rushed by all of the enemy team, even a tent can't hold that back, especially from that position. So maybe a call like back up, because you can afford to back up right now. You have the zone, they have a really big penalty. You can just wait until you have all of your numbers back and you have a special or something, and then make a more definitive push, I guess. Conclusive push. Decisive. That's the word I was looking for. But now one of you gets left alone in mid and gets picked.
Yeah.
Spam.
I like the way that you're handling missiles there. You know that you're the faster weapon, so you can swim forward a little bit and then back up, and that's not going to threaten your charger. A lesser player might have swam behind the charger, swam towards the charger to the side, backed them into a corner, and made them very sad. So, good job.
Don't I know that happens too much in solo queue. I am backing up for missiles and somebody's right behind me, and I'm like, dude, why are you behind me? I died because of you.
That is one of the wonderful things about coordinated play. Those kinds of mistakes, if your teammate does it, you get to yell at them, and then they do it less.
I speak from experience, and Jamie can confirm I've done this a lot to him.
Devi has probably done this a lot to any of her frontliners. And any backliner has probably done that a lot. That is their job. That is good. Okay.
Continue.
Oh yeah, no worries. And anytime you guys have any questions at all, interrupt me. Like, I will keep talking because that is what I do. But if you have something that you want feedback on, interrupt me about it.
Okay, just let them continue.
All right. So we're one down. We don't have any specials yet.
Okay.
Just be careful.
They have a special. They've got main control of zone. This is a very early bubble, I think, to be coming out. We're just not in a position right now where we can take advantage of these bubbles. And so these bubbles basically go off into the zone. And yeah, I guess maybe someone's shooting at it, but it's not stopping the enemy team from holding the zone. I don't think it ends up like helping cap the zone. You get this pick basically because they over pushed into you, not because the bubbles helped. And furthermore, because everybody on your team turned to fight this flank, they weren't turning to like take any advantage of the bubbles. They aren't in there taking advantage of the chip damage that the bubbles did. They're not in there taking advantage of the paint the bubbles had. It's basically a wasted special from what I can see here. I don't know what that really did for you guys. Now you're able to use the numbers advantage to get zone, and now you got to worry a little bit about the hammer. So the call is I'm flanking behind them, and I love that you called that. I love that you have that play in mind and that you're, you know, telling your teammates so that they can respond. My concern is that with the hammer out in mid, they might not be able to respond. The hammer is going to disrupt the back line, and it's going to disrupt them more than it's going to disrupt you because you're a shooter and you can zip all over the place. But for them, they might get forced away from being able to paint the zone, let alone being able to stand on zone and shoot this way where they would need to be able to help you with this flank.
Hammer got me.
Yeah, so the call is hammer got me, so clearly that was putting some kind of pressure on your team. You go in and you get a great pick. Like, this flank in isolation is really well executed. The problem with it is that in order for this flank to really work and get map control for your team, what you want is for probably Toothpaste to be in mid looking at this player. Maybe Elise can help with this, where if they've got a good sight line, they can snipe this guy while you keep them away from cover. But it's probably Toothpaste that you want pushing up into mid with you. And with a hammer having been so recently in mid, you probably can't do that. It's probably worth more to help your team defend against this hammer than to be moving in this fashion. It's unfortunate, you know, you hear the hammer go off and you're already jumping, but maybe once you go over the wall, you just turn and shoot at the hammer's back at this point. You know, you like, because they're still in mid. You could have like maybe zipped into mid and shot them in the back and forced them to look at you instead of your teammates. Better to have the hammer looking at the more mobile weapon than to be looking at something like a tent where it might just kind of eat it for breakfast. So putting yourself out to the left-hand side here, kind of out of play, lets that hammer have max impact, and then their team is able to just 2v1 you because they can afford to put the numbers toward you. And the best you're going to get out of that is the one-for-one trade against a team that executes well, and they do.
I didn't actually realize that. I didn't actually realize that hammer went off. I just because like as soon as I said I'm flanking, I kind of after I pop armor, I usually like push, and I just kind of didn't really realize that the hammer went off. I was just like, I gotta push now because I use armor. So.
And you know, as soon as you have the go now impulse, that does kind of cause your brain to override some things. You know, I am guilty of so many pushes that were really, you know, poorly thought out. I didn't have support, things like that. You know, I don't blame you at all for missing something like that. But, you know, that is something that will cause you here to lose control of the zone and get routed. And so that's why I'm pointing it out. That is the reason that Hidden Radiance of the Dawn was able to recap the zone. It is that their hammer got max benefit, wasn't threatened at all when it went through mid. It took out the tent, and then you guys died in 3 different places. If you're able to stick together a little bit more and band together against the hammer, yeah, maybe they cap the zone, but it didn't matter if they capped the zone. They have a 49-point penalty. You guys, if you stay alive, are able to just kind of make that work. I also love that you paint behind their feet, by the way. That's a really good move to, you know, throw off their aim, prevent them from getting where they think they're going to go. That's part of the reason you're able to get this trade in the first place, because I think you're having to fight through their armor at this point here. Granted, you have armor too, but yeah, like the execution on your part in isolation, not knowing the context of what's going on the map, is excellent. It's the fact that you don't have any support from mid at all when you make this flank that makes it so it doesn't work. You can make this flank more slowly. You can like stand on their ledge, like you can take this position right here and be really obnoxious. Like they know that they can't take ledge anymore, and so this funnels them into mid, and your teammates only have to look at mid. this is a great play, and then you can very slowly inch your way up and kind of maintain control of zone that way. Doesn't have to be the hardest commitment. It just has to be enough of a commitment, you know, using the armor that you get value out of it, and you're able to kind of force them back. So you can play a little bit more measured here, and the main thing that gives that away to me is, okay, wait, if I get into a fight, where are my teammates going to be? Where is my support going to be? I'm trying not to take a fight unless there's crossfire. And here there's not going to be crossfire, and we can see that in that shot just now where you see how much of the zone is painted orange. And we can also kind of infer that from the fact that we've heard hammer noises, and your team is getting aggressed from that. Like, even if I think, oh, Toothpaste is totally with me in mid, as soon as I see this much paint right here, I'm like, okay, even if Toothpaste was in mid, they're too far away to be hitting me. Oh, okay, I guess they've got Inkjet out. So maybe they can hit up over the top, maybe. Against an armor, it's iffy that they're going to be able to get anything at all against an enemy armor. Even if they hit a direct, they don't get the kill. If they hit an indirect, the most they're going to do is shred armor, and I think they might not even... It's 30 damage, right? And the indirect does exactly 30, so... Yeah, at that point, it's just a clean squid. They're not even doing any extra damage past the armor. So yeah, there's... it's very conditional that you have any support here at all. And pushing into this much orange ink without that much support, the most you're going to hope for is a 1-for-1 trade. Which probably isn't what you want in that situation as the strong painting weapon. Remember, value your life as the armor weapon.
Okay.
Probably better to have stayed back a little bit and helped with the brush there. So that play puts you on the back foot a little bit, because now they stand to reasonably be able to hold the zone. And, you know, again, I'm not putting this all on Mr. Awesome. Part of the problem was that, you know, Raffi went down to the hammer. Now, could you have had better counterplay against the hammer if Mr. Awesome had helped? Maybe. Hard to say. And I think somebody else went down here earlier as well. I think, yeah, Toothpaste goes down out of the Inkjet.
Okay.
So there is also something to be said for Inkjet survivability. I personally don't like Inkjet that much on this map. I think it's very flat, and I think there's not a lot of elevation you can get as the Inkjet player, so it's relatively easy for enemy players to shoot you down. You want to, like, use it over maybe these walls to get a little bit of elevation, and then shoot at people who are relatively far away, and maybe try to get over cover with it or something. But I feel like it's a little bit more limited than it is on some maps. But going down in Inkjet means that the Inkjet didn't do its job, basically. Every Inkjet, as a general rule, this is something that Dio and Ham taught me a long time ago. Every Inkjet, one, should get a pick in the first 2 shots. So either you direct someone immediately or get them with enough indirect damage that you're able to finish them off with the second one. 2, it should always be able to land safely. And 3, it should seek out high ground as soon as it's gotten its 1 pick. Those are kind of the Inkjet principles that I try to hold myself to. And so some of those things are probably not happening if you're going down in the middle of an Inkjet.
We're gonna need your armor also.
Yeah, I already used it. So.
I love that call. We're going to need your armor. Like, you understand what your win condition is. You're actively thinking, what do we need to do to get back into this game? What do we need to do next? And what that call also says to the rest of your team is, we're waiting for Awesome to have armor before we try to do anything. That will keep people from making an over-aggressive early play. I like the jump out from there. Like, no need to try and push through unsafe turf to get to the place you're actually going to try and push from. Just reposition yourself. Okay, awesome.
Jim.
Jim, you were ignoring a person.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought I was hearing call-outs.
No!
Okay,
I was like, I was hearing things, and it's like, it's your voices, and so I think it's part of the recording, and I'm not paying that much attention to what they say.
Hey, don't,
I'm
hey,
so
don't
sorry.
worry.
What's up?
I do that all
We
the
do that all
time.
the time. We do that all the time. Like when we're doing wild reviews by ourselves, we are like, okay, this is so confusing.
Yeah.
I was just
We
gonna
actually
ask,
can't hear the audio, by the way, if you want us to hear.
Yeah.
intentional.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
true. I guess
true.
that's going to be tricky for you guys. I will always point out when I am talking about a call out that you guys make.
Which I
But
think that
there's not a
that's how
super easy way for me to get that piped across the connection. But what was your question?
Yeah, it was about that call out about we need your armor. Who was that? Who made that? I don't remember.
Pretty sure it was Raffi.
Raffi, yeah.
Yeah.
Raffi? Okay.
I remember.
Good job, Raffi.
Yay, Raffi.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Call out God.
Okay,
Was that all we had?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
awesome.
okay.
Wait, actually, I have a question as well.
Go for it.
So, okay, let me see. How do I word this? When is it a good time to like take more aggressive positions? Because like I know I have like since I'm a Slayer and support at the same time sometimes, I play Zap super aggressive, probably more aggressive than I really should sometimes. So like when would be a good time to actually be more aggressive?
That is a really good question because a lot of the time early on, what will happen is you will be told to play more aggressively. You're playing too passive. You're not pushing them back enough, yada, yada. So you'll go in and, take an aggressive stance that you're like, okay, well, this is more aggressive. And then you will die. And you'll be like, okay, well, what am I supposed to be doing? What you need to be doing is taking an aggressive stance sometimes and then backing up. What you want to do is not hard commit into the enemy team, because at a certain point, hard committing into the enemy team that's respawning is going to put you in like a 1v3. What you want to do instead is be like, hey, I'm here. You can't go there anymore. Hee. And then running away. You like throw a bomb there and they're like, oh crap, there's someone on the right. There's someone on right. And then they all turn their attention to right and you're like not there anymore and it doesn't matter. And they spend all of their time worrying about someone who's not actually hard committing to anything. If somebody, drops down past you while you're sharking, yeah, get that easy pick if that's an easy pick. But if like 3 people drop down past you and you immediately alert all of them and you don't have your shots on right away and can't even trade back, now you're just feeding. So going back to the play that you make earlier on, so that we're at 30:48, I'm going to try and remember that. Going back to the play that we make here.
Okay, got him.
Right.
Yeah, they're all in that.
Where we drop. What do we do here? Or is it earlier than this?
Just watch out.
What is the clip that you're trying to refer to?
There's a point where you have control and you pushed up onto their steps.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was. I don't even know what I was thinking there. I was probably just.
Kill the stamp. That's hilarious.
On zones moment.
Here. This
Yeah,
is
right here.
So this play right here, if you start missing your shots and back up, now they're like, oh crap, there's someone on our steps. There's someone on our steps, and they try to deal with steps. And you're backed up into their court, and you're just kind of chilling, painting for armor or something. If you make that aggressive play, you're putting pressure on them in a way that's safe. And that's kind of what you want to do. You want to kind of poke at them a little bit rather than hard committing every single time you're trying to do aggressive things in air quotes. Because, if you think about aggressive as just go really or don't go, that's when you start getting yourself into trouble. Here, it's more of a like, we're going to make it very annoying and difficult for them to push forward than it is, I'm going to go in and splat all of them right now.
So what points would it be, like, how would I make a, like, non-committal play? Because I guess I don't really know how to do that. And honestly, I'm not really sure what I was doing at this point because I'm not justifying this terrible play. It's pretty bad. But I don't know. I'm just... I guess I was trying to go in because, like, I knew they were all down except for the brush.
Right.
And so I saw the brush a little bit. So I was, like, kind of counting on him to, like, drop onto me. I guess that may be, like, a solo queue thing, possibly. But, like, how would I make like a non-committal play?
So you know that the right side is pretty clear right now. If somebody drops from right, they're going to run into Raffi first, and that's going to be called, and you're going to be able to go over to it. So let's think, where can they come from that will actually threaten you here and that you can get in the way of? They can come from the plat up here where my mouse is, up above. And so one of the first things I would do if I'm going to make this play is actually paint up the lip of this ledge. That way, if somebody comes that close, they have to fire shots and you'll see those shots. Or if you check your map, you'll see them painting over it and you'll know that there's someone there. Yes, they'll see that purple trail and be like, oh, somebody's here or somebody has been here recently. But that's okay, because that just makes them hesitate more. That makes them play more deliberately. That gets you more points ticked off. Your goal here is to stall, not to absolutely 100% dominate them, just to be a brick wall that they have to, throw themselves at repeatedly to be able to get through. So you paint all of that up, and that's really annoying. The second thing I would do as I'm coming up this ramp is paint an escape route behind me, so that if somebody does get through on this side, I don't have to run towards them. I can run backwards and fall off the ledge and put that ledge in between me and whoever's on the left over here. So I'm giving myself escape routes. I'm giving myself warning signs that enemy players are approaching, because I know, like, yeah, they're 3 down now, but by the time I get in position, they're probably going to be spawning pretty soon. Then once I've got all of that set up, I see this brush over here. Now, me personally, while I was watching this, I was surprised to see you aiming in this direction, because we'd already seen, we break this down frame by frame. I'm going to have to go back pretty far here, but I'm just going to mash the key really quick. Okay. There. So, you're responding to this splash right here. Totally understandable. You think that they're there. But also realize that this splash means they're moving. And then they pop up right here. And this right here, I think you just completely miss visually.
I didn't even see that.
Right.
I didn't even know that was there.
So that piece of information, that little bit of, awareness can clue you in, because that's on screen for a good number of frames. There are... I think this splash here, honestly, is smaller than that.
I think I saw that first, and I was like, okay, he's right there.
And you're like, focus on this. But what you always want to be doing when you spot where somebody is like, assume that they're there until you have more information, but also be scanning around so that if you see splashes elsewhere, now you have this point, and you can start putting a trajectory together. You can start going, okay, they were here, but now they're here. So triangulation, beep, boop, where are they going to be heading? They're going to be either going around this corner to the left, in which case I can't hit them, or they're going to be going up over the top, in which case I can pre-fire at this angle. And that's the most you're going to be able to do. If you're hitting them and pre-firing them and your aim is good, you probably can beat the brush, but otherwise you lose this fight. So when you start firing over here and you're not hitting shots, and you see the brush strokes over here, at this point, you're like, there is a brush that is in range of me. I do not win this fight. I flee. And at this point, you should just be booking it.
Brush is going to brush me.
And if you're booking it, you still did an aggressive play. You still forced them to respond to something. But if you book it in this direction, somebody from the right cannot shoot you. And now at this point that you've shot that many shots, the mini is able to get in position to take you out from there. Another thing to think about is, do you have teammates? If you have teammates helping you, you can do stupid things, and it will usually be okay. The way to play around a teammate, though, remember, don't just unga bunga hard commit all the time when you have a teammate with you. What you want to do is identify who your opponent is shooting at. If your opponent is not shooting at you, you shoot at them. I like to say that the root of all teamwork is shoot at the guy who's shooting at your teammate. If they're shooting at your teammate, you have their back, you have the easiest fight in the world, they're not looking at you, they're not trying to do anything about you, you go and you take that fight 100% of the time. If they are shooting at you, you're stalling so that your teammate can do the thing I just said, shoot at the player who's shooting at you. And the longer you can stay alive, the better a shot they have of taking advantage of that situation. So, and also the better a chance you have of coming out of that fight in a 1-for-0 trade instead of a 1-for-1 trade. Adding the extra damage is more likely to let them trade with you. So if they're shooting at you, you should be disengaging. And let's say, unbeknownst to you, Elise has been watching this with their, eagle eye the entire time, and they're waiting for the perfect opportunity to snipe. If you, dodge around and make it hard for them to hit you, chances are they overcommit into Elise's sight line if they keep chasing you, and Elise is actually able to do something about that. But if you just stay in one place further behind enemy lines instead of retreating closer to your teammates' sight lines, that's making it less likely that they're going to be able to help you. Hopefully that's given you some things to think about there. I can, expand more on that, but I've already, talked about that for probably like 10 minutes. So hopefully that helps.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Bombs up for that, man.
All right. So we've popped armor.
I think we should. Are you back at where we were before?
Yeah, 3048 was the timestamp. So this is like, Rafi makes the call. We're gonna need Awesome's armor. Awesome gets the armor.
They're just throwing a lot of bombs up.
And so left side is being heavily besieged. We see that there are 3 here. This probably means they know where Elise is because, a laser is usually one of the first things that'll get everybody to be like, ooh, bomb. Just like you see pretty light, you throw rocks at it. That's kind of how it works in this game. And so one of the things to be careful about, is, hey, they know we're here. Watch out for bombs. Watch out for positions that I can push into where I don't have an escape route away from a bomb. So I don't think anything goes too wrong there. We pop the armor. I would probably wait just a little bit later to pop the armor, and here's why. You know that your teammates are kind of clamped down on the left and that they don't have a great way in right now. If you're able to aggress from even a slightly different angle, just from coming up over snipe, make your opponents look at something else, and then you pop the armor, now your teammates are going to be able to use that armor for longer, and it's less likely to get chipped off them by a bomb right away.
Right.
Right now, you spend about 3 seconds, I think, just not being in the fight while you have this armor. Whereas the armor could have come out from like right here, at which point you are immediately making them look at something else, and maybe Toothpaste can just drop down and get this guy immediately. You play it pretty well, though. That's just like a little nitpick, because honestly, the push at this point is pretty well timed. I love that the specials are coming out. The bubbles might be a little bit early just because there's nobody that's going to be able to push in and follow up on them. One of the things I'm looking for, and one of the big important pieces of team coordination, is when someone does uses a special, what can you do with that special? It's great to pop an inkjet. It's better to pop an inkjet near someone who's already in a fight that you can then finish. It's great to pop bubbles. It's better if you're popping bubbles into an area where there's already an engagement, and those bubbles are going to zone the enemy away or give you an opportunity to just bomb off them and splat them. If they see the bubbles coming too early, that might be something they can just back away from. They can counterplay. If they see the inkjet coming and it doesn't really have as much help, there's nobody else pushing in front of it, they can probably just focus it down. I think part of the reason that things are going off a little early is that the armor went off a little bit early and you weren't able to kind of force your way in. You kind of want to use your specials when it's time to push in a way that will help the other specials be more impactful, and you probably don't want to blow all of them at once. Something that I talk about in some of the videos, it's a little lecture that Ham gave at one point, is that if you use all your specials at once, you don't have staying power for as long. If you use 2 specials to get in, and then you have another special on deck for when they try to counter push you, that's really strong. But if you use all 4 specials, what a top team is going to do to you is they're all 4 going to back up. You're going to splat absolutely no one using those specials, and then they're going to push you back out of zone using only 2 specials, and they're going to have their next 2 to stop your push back in after that. So using all 3 of them at the same time, probably not the call. you might want to use them, like 2 of them now, and then once you have cap, use another one to keep pushing them off.
Junior.
And I get
So Jim,
Mhm.
what special would you say that we should save in this situation? Because we popped off all 4, I think.
Right. You definitely do. So you need someone who's going to be painting the whole time. I think armor is a great initiation here. It's just a way to make sure that you don't go down, especially in a position where your teammates are pinned down. I think that's great. I think you could probably initiate off of armor and the tent shield alone under some circumstances. You do manage to get a pick early on right here using just the armor. So from here, take some space first, paint up in front, and then once you're likely to encounter resistance again, maybe then pop another special. Right now, you know, if you bubble, there's nobody on your plat. And so the bubble isn't pushing anyone off your plat. So maybe like move up closer to the zone and then pop the bubbles from there. Maybe use Raffi's tent shield as a way to get the bubbles in safely. Maybe, you know, for Tooth, like if Tooth pops over this wall, for all you guys know, there's a mini with charge waiting to just nail that. But if you're able to push up and start, you know, poking at them and getting them out of position and flushing them out, and then Tooth, seeing that you've displaced someone, has an easy inkjet direct, then they can go up and pop that. It's a matter of like use the specials when they will have impact and when they will force the enemy team to respond in some way. Because like right now, there's nobody up front to help with Tooth's inkjet. Like what you ideally want is for people's locations to be known and for their feet to be painted, because that's what is going to help the inkjet secure kills. And there's nobody up front yet to paint in front for that. You want to let Awesome get in and at least paint over this wall a little bit before the inkjet goes out. Make sure that there's nobody sharking around the corner, you know, maybe throw a bomb or something. And then if you get someone out of position, then the inkjet can have a really strong impact. With the bubbles, the same deal. Like, you want someone to be able to use the bubbles so the enemy team can't just, like, shred them or ignore them or something.
God, Junior.
And I get
That is a really nice pick that you get with the hammer there. And at this point, with 2 down, first priority cap zone, because they're really close to getting lead and you want to prevent that.
try to.
Okay, and you are able to get it. Awesome. Now from here, Raffi probably needs to back up because missiles have just gone out and you don't have any specials to counter. So even though they're like 2 down, you see that there's a jump. They're going to be 3 up and they're going to be starting to push. So from here, like, you can give up the zone completely if you want to. You really don't need to do too much. What I would do as Mr. Awesome is drop back onto ledge here and maybe back up onto snipe and like just throw bombs and paint in safe ways. It's also great to have you back here on snipe so that in case someone flanks behind, it's not just like an E-leader's back that they have here. They actually have to contest a shooter that can fight really well at that short range. And that'll help you hold your ground really well so that they can't just like overrun you right away with this one special. And if Raffi's able to stay alive, if he's able to back up and hold the right side here, then you guys have a pretty good angle to just contest the zone. You're able to totally paint through that. Raffi, it looks like, is taking a more aggressive stance here. So you want to be making sure that nobody can get in on him from mid. I probably wouldn't push this fight further. In fact, if this guy had rolled back once, they probably could just kill you here. So like, right here, they should know that you're here, right? Because you're putting bullets down. So they should immediately be taking an angle that gives them shots on you. They should literally just be backing up and like pre-firing this angle so that if you try to push them, you're not in range anymore. So that's a weak play on their part. They probably could have killed you for this.
Wait, why did I think
But I like that you have armor already. So you're doing your job, you're painting, you're keeping the zone. And you've held zone, honestly, for maybe longer than you necessarily had a right to. I don't know. The fact that you had a numbers advantage helped a lot, but they did also use a special when you guys didn't have any out, and that could have led to a push that they could have taken it back with.
You have to read.
But-
You have to read.
This is good. So from here, here's what I would probably say. I think a stronger position for you would be left, and a stronger position for Raffi would be right. If they have range, you can't contest it in this wide open area. You don't have the cover to do that. If they have range over here, you can just duck around a corner and you're fine. Granted, you're left side peeking them, but I think you're better equipped to hold this angle than the tent is, because if the tent shield goes out, it doesn't go in as good a straight line to protect them. The tent shield here, though, completely blocks them from being able to paint the zone. And then you're able to kind of flush them out doing frontline things, pushing ledge. So that's my thinking there. But so you do actually rotate over there, which is good. I'm very nervous about the amount of paint that is on their side of the zone here. Or on your side of the zone here.
You're going left. Be careful.
I like that call. You're watching out for a flank. Again, your priority right now, the time to push them back away from the zone is kind of up right now, because you stand a chance at actually KOing right now. So you want to maintain that ability, and if that means backing up behind the zone, then so be it. Maybe you throw a bomb over here to get this guy away, but if you hard commit to a fight in court, all they have to do is rush zone and they cap it. So you don't want to do that at this point. Okay, they've popped armor and a hammer and missiles. They are using 3 specials all at the same time. This is a situation where you do not want to fight. They know where you are. They have armor. They also have this really strong offensive special going out. Just get away from there. Do not die. Good counterplay there. Toothpaste kind of gets in. Let me see if Toothpaste could have got out of that. They're firing here. I think in this position, with the hammer coming around the corner, you want to see that it's turning right towards you and then just immediately swim backwards. You don't want to be anywhere near it, because in this position, if you get further back, the hammer is forced to either go after Mr. Awesome, in which case you have its back, or go after you. And if it goes after you and you've taken some extra time to back up, Mr. Awesome gets it before you trade. So just a little bit faster movement probably could save you there. But good job getting the trade, honestly. Like, trading against someone who's used a special and also has armor, that's really solid. It's fine that you lose zone here. What matters is that you stay alive. All you need to do is cap it once in the next, probably 20, 30 seconds. Because they've got a pretty big penalty. But what you need to do to not die is not be staggered. Not get more people to go down here. And Raffi is in one corner, Elise is in one corner, you're in one corner. We need to get back together. We need to drop back to safe ground. What I would probably say is Elise run backwards, maybe jump out. Raffi definitely jump out, and Mr. Awesome can probably just swim back into court or something and try and paint for an armor. There's a lot of orange ink to work with here. There's all this stuff behind you. You can 100% get out of here safely. Which you do, which is great. But one problem here is we do lose Elise. Oh, it's right as the armor goes out too. That's super unfortunate. Elise in that position, honestly, with nothing but frontliners in front of you, drop over the sledge and jump out. You've got enough time to reposition yourself on the top left where you can be safe again. With everyone split up that much, you just need more protection to be in the game. So I just get out of there. And Raffi, being also split off on the corner over there, I was expecting them to go down first, but they go down right here. So now the armor is wasted. It wasn't in a 3v3, so it's not the worst time, but the problem was the position of your team was just super duper split. As soon as this push goes out, like, you should expect as soon as they use 3 specials like that, your team is going to be reeling and is going to need to regroup. And it's totally okay to give up the zone for a little bit of time if it means that you stay alive. And in this situation, that goes for everybody. If one more player goes down unanswered on your team, that's a stagger, and that's probably them getting lead. So in this position where it's like 3v3, they've just used a lot of specials. They have great map control. You guys are staggered, not staggered. You guys are split. Just back up, regroup, get specials. They've already used all their specials, so you guys have more special charge than them. You'll have specials earlier than they do, or at least you'll have more specials than they have. You stand a really good chance of winning the game if you guys just like back up, jump out, stay alive.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm getting armor soon. I have it. I'm using it now.
Junior.
Oh, I died.
Junior match.
Oh gosh.
So we jump out here, and this isn't, you know, it sounds like Raffi is realizing, oh, this is really bad. You still have a way into this game. You just need to succeed in this one push. So, you know, everything we've said so far, if we play this fight well, we can still win. And that's kind of the verbiage that we want here. You do need to move fairly quickly, but you have time to get at least one special here. You can probably get your armor. And you do that with about the perfect pace,
I'm getting
too.
canopy down.
Getting canopy down. Okay. So you're going up there. Might be good to, in a situation like this, you probably want the tent shield to be able to push this way so you can go straight onto zone. So it paints part of zone, it pushes people out of zone, it gives you cover on your way onto zone. I think that's probably more helpful than trying to use to get up this ramp, because at that point,
I think I'm not saying I did the right thing there. Could you go back a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
Because sometimes what I try to do, I know there are going to be
I'm
people
getting
peeking
canopy
right
down.
over that ledge, so I put down the canopy so that I
Clutch
can
armor.
safely get into that elbow position.
And you know, it does give
Yeah, in his defense, there's a
Toothpaste-
lot of people in that ledge.
Yeah, it does give Toothpaste a really good angle on this player when they see the tent shield and start shooting at it. So, yeah, I don't hate that play. So we pop armor, and it's time to rush.
Go, 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 now, now, now.
And we know that. Go, 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 now, now, now. I like that. The missiles are really well timed from their team. That is a really nasty time to have to deal with missiles. Because what that's going to force both of these two players to do is get on the zone and not have an escape route. These two are going to have to like push onto the zone, and they're hard committed. So what you want to do awesome to support that is push in. You probably don't even have time to get in from the right. You probably need to just be running up this ledge and shooting at the people who are on mid who might contest these guys. Which you do. You're also getting on zone to paint the zone. The behind call. Is that what happened there? Did someone flank?
Go, 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 now, now, now.
Because like right
I
now it
honestly
doesn't
don't
look
know.
like there's anybody in position. Where does this brush come from?
I might have called it out like because Raffi was going forward and now there's people behind. Oh wait,
I
there
think
is
behind,
people.
behind is the
I know
first that we
there
hear
was
about this
somebody-
player.
I think it was somebody charging there.
I'm getting.
I forgot
You
There
see
was
the
a
something
bomb.
pop over there. Oh yeah, we can actually just barely see the brush. was right there, and I think they drop over the ledge right there. Okay, that's what happened. I missed it myself. So I don't blame you for not knowing that the brush dropped here and is coming around, but what happens here is the brush flanks you. They drop into your court, and the way that they get back in is by coming right behind, and Elise is behind, so they get shot in the back. And even though right now it's 3v3 and you have even painting power, because you lose your charger in the back, you're going to get out painted here, and that's what lets them cap.
Oh god.
That is a
I cannot
really
get
good
down.
play. I did not see that coming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Basically, the only thing that you can do about that is to be aware of right flanks basically at all times. That is like one of the most dangerous plays on this map. If nobody's watching that particular flank, the backliner just dies, and it's one of the easiest picks to get. So here your hand was kind of forced. Like, I don't blame anyone for rushing the zone on that one. It's basically just on Elise to try and be a little bit self-sufficient and like take a position where if somebody comes from that angle, they're going to see it and be able to get away. Really hard position that they put you in at the end there with the missiles. Like, that missile was probably the best special used all game. It just put so much pressure on you guys at exactly the moment where you didn't want it. It forced all of you forward. It split you up. Like, there was a lot of good that did. So really, I think your way back into this game, ideally, is not to be in this position right now where, you know, you're having to make this last second special push. It's more that in this position right here, where you lose the zone,
Dang it.
that you back up, stay alive, play defense, don't stagger. Because dying here is what puts you into the position where you have to make that last second push. And that's really what puts them in a position where if they apply their specials properly, they can win the game. So I'll take a quick look at how it ends just to watch the rest of it and see the scores at the end. But
Close to armor.
that pretty much brings us to the end of it.
Go now. Cap those. Paint.
Yeah, and you're doing basically absolutely everything that I would do here. You're painting the zone as much as you can. The hammer is doing its best to try and... Because hammer there...
That was a bad hammer.
The play might actually be to like chuck the hammer immediately at a spot where you don't want them to be able to paint from, and then try using your main weapon. It is a, you know, a 2v3. You're not going to be able to outpaint that unless you like kill them or something. So I don't know. Maybe the call is even to go after them and try and like flush the ledge out with the hammer. It's a losing situation. I don't blame you if it goes wrong either way. Excuse me.
I slept up bad at the end. I slept up bad.
Armor as fast as I could.
Yeah, I didn't have my special.
10 armors. Holy crap. Good stuff.
Dang, I forgot about that.
That's fantastic right there.
I say that this is one of my worst games.
Yeah.
Look at that. Too. Dude.
Awesome had a really good game. And Tooth was doing a great job supporting. Yeah, you're painting a lot, which is definitely something to be said there. I think, Elise, one thing that you might consider is rotating. I saw you, I think, mostly on the enemy plat during lockout. And if they know you're going to be there, you know, it's a great position. But maybe like go their ledge instead, because there was the one time that Awesome was over on left steps trying to take a flank. If you spot that, you can maybe shoot them over steps from ledge, and that's a really scary position for an E leader there. So that would be a great thing to do. You know, Raffi can totally hold down Snipe by himself if he needs to, and Tooth had a great handle on left glass. So if you want to take a more aggressive position like their ledge, that's something that Devi likes to do on Hydra a lot, and that can be powerful. So that's one idea. Devi, anything else about positioning there for the E-leader to maybe have more of an impact in terms of kills?
It's just kind of the peaks, really, because there's about two prime spots to be in, and I know, or technically 3, but one of them's really vulnerable. It's just kind of whether because I can't remember what side you stayed on the most, but do you do both the left side and right side plays, or do you just mostly prioritize the left side?
They were on right for most of the game that I saw.
Okay, so yeah, it's just kind of keeping that variation and just going from there. But really, it's just keeping space and all that stuff. So I think it's just fine, because on this map, even though a backline can look really threatening, and even though your KA looks low here, you still have a lot of paint, and you know your laser brought a lot of pressure. Because even on this map, I can be threatening with a Hydra, but my KA isn't very high. So I know I've still done my job pushing them back, but it's just still like just being aware of positioning. So if you find like most of your team's on one side, maybe you can be up behind them somewhere, or be on like another side to pinch them. So say like your team's moving in from left and you're kind of given a free way on the right, use your shot to kind of pinch in with them, and try that, even though I know sometimes it's scary to go alone on that corner, but you definitely have the range to block it, so, or like lock it down. So
another thing that can help, especially with those kinds of flanks that we saw at the end, Raffi has ink mines. And if you just take a second when you have a moment to drop an ink mine right like around that corner, that can be advance warning for the rest of your team that there's someone flanking there. And that can give you a second or two more to react and potentially save Elise sometimes. I think at the end there, you know, when you had staggered in, there's not much you could have done. I don't know. Maybe you could have. Maybe you could have dropped one because you did run straight through that angle. So maybe that was an option for you. But generally, you know, get your mines set up on zone unless you're in neutral or defense, because zone mines are just absolutely obnoxious. All right. So let's see how late we've gone this time. 23 minutes over. Yeah, figured as much. This is why we don't do double headers when we have a full team VOD review. Thank you guys so much for coming on the show. Really appreciate having you guys. You guys are great to work with. You have great mindsets. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys can do. You guys are definitely on the path to improving by quite a bit very quickly. So it's going to be very cool to watch you guys play. You're very receptive to feedback. Like when I was making call outs, you guys were trying to jump on that right away, and that's awesome to see. So super fun playing with you guys, and good luck, and hope this was helpful to you.
Thank you. It definitely was.
It definitely was. Definitely.
Oh,
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys have a good one. And to the rest of stream, thank you all for watching. Really appreciate having you guys here. We are Bravest Esports. Our mission is to help people play video games together and become closer for it. So, oh, hey, you guys can see what I see now. You can see the chat here. Nice little streamception for you. Our mission is to bring people together using video games. So we run events for schools, for parks and rec departments, for universities, but also businesses. I think I said one of those twice, but that's fine. And so if you're interested in more of our events, you can check out bravest.com, which Nightbot may well have been spamming for you guys. But also, if you're interested in a VOD review like this, join our Discord server. That's how these guys were able to request it. Just find me on Discord in here. I am Gem. And you'll be able to DM me about it and find... from there, we'll schedule. We'll figure out how we re-record and everything. But that's all you need to do. Just join our Discord and DM me. And that's the way to do it. So thank you, everybody, for watching. We're going to go on YouTube. It's going to end. But I'm being attacked by my cat. But on Twitch, we will go and see if there's somebody we know who we can raid. That'll be great. Let's go and raid Rafa. Rafa's streaming right now. So let me get that command put in on Twitch. I don't think I actually have that open right now. Hey, stop streaming that window. Thank you. Gonna steal all my super secrets or something like that. I don't know. Cat, stop. It's Rafa. What are the letters? The random letters after it? KP. That's what it is. All right. So we should be off soon. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you next week, same time.
Bye.
Bye, stream.
Okay, raid is off.
Yeah.